notes. I need to take notes.
You can if you want to. It's up to you. You ain't got to.
I don't need to take notes.
Nah, you the guest. You just,
Y'all ain't trying to trap me.
Never would do that to you.
Catch me up.
No.
I ain't that kind of person. You know that, man. All right. Mic check. One of the Masters podcast was made, of course. I'm back with another episode. I got my guy Juanito here. He going by Jace today, right? I don't know what's going on.
I go by Jason all the time, man. I love you, Jason, in the building. What's up?
Okay, sure. Anyway, lying ass. Anyway, we got a special guest in the building today. All right. I got Miss Q here. You know, how you doing? First and foremost.
Hello.
Nice to have you back on. Talking to the mic for a little bit.
Talking to the mic.
Yeah, you good. There you go. I can hear you back now, loud and clear. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna clap it up for her real quick. I got a new clap button. New clap button, by the way. You're the first person to get a new clap button, so they cheering real loud for you. Just know that.
Real loud.
Nah, it's extremely loud. I'm telling you that, matter of fact. Extremely loud. All right,
crazy.
No, they really was. So we've been doing the mental health episodes, and this is number 5 now. I did 4 yesterday, so that's gonna drop whenever. But I did 5. This is the 5th one, and I know you had some conversations about some of the opposite episodes we did. You in the first one, and you gave me some good feedback on that. But I also I watch a lot on social media, and I know we joke a lot. So I'll just put out there we joke a lot. We give her the name that she she hates men or whatever it can be. It's almost like that person that's pro-black that you call racist. It's not. It's like they they teeter the line. You know what I'm saying? Like you can say it, but she could also make the point that, hey, no, I'm just very pro-woman, black woman, so definitely wanted to give her flowers there because she hold her own a lot in a lot of debates on Facebook. Like some she don't want to do, some she might start, I don't know, but she also do a lot of other things, you know what I'm saying? You're a designer, right?
I am. I'm a fashion designer.
Yeah, go ahead, tell me. You're a mom, a great mom.
I'm a mom of 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fashion designer, entrepreneur. Been doing this for about 13, 14 years now. Yeah, I'm a mom and an entrepreneur, and I guess I'm a very vocal person.
Yeah.
On social media.
Well, before I want to kind of open up a little bit. Like, where did that come from? What do you think? Like, you and being as vocal as you are, not just being vocal, but being vocal when it comes to women and some of the things that they go through, and that you all go through, and how you deal with it when all the multiple hats. If we get all this stuff later, I'm just gonna give a little synopsis of why and when did you become so vocal about this?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure when I became vocal. I think I've always been vocal, not so much on social media, until it became like just a thing where you constantly see women being bashed, or like women get blamed for a lot of stuff. Like anything that goes wrong in society, especially a black woman gets blamed for it. If kids out here killing each other, that was the black mom, or you get what I'm saying? Like anything down to dating, they too high maintenance. They expect too much. It's anything that's related to anything almost in life is blamed on the black woman. Simple. And I think me seeing so much criticism, and it's not open-minded. Like most people are just one-sided. They aren't open-minded. They speak from one perspective, and that's it. So if it's not their way, it's no way. So if you try to give a female perspective on it, they don't really want to hear it. So if that's the case, I'm more vocal because most people don't want to hear from a woman, right? So, and then they'll say something like you're, I guess, not educated, or if you are educated, then you think you all that, or if I was sounding ratchet, then she don't know what she's talking about. It's so many different stereotypes that comes with it. Mm-hmm. So just seeing like consistently, we spend a lot of time in the house. We spend a lot of time on social media. So just seeing consistently people, and mainly our culture. Like I'm not in a whole bunch of other cultures. I'm only invested in our culture. Like I don't know what the white culture do. I don't care what they do. I have been born and raised and lived all my life in a black culture. That is all I see. That's all I've been around. I am the only girl of four brothers. I'm the only girl. So that's all I know. So when people say that I bash men, I got 4 brothers and I got a son. Like I would never bash men. That's farthest away from bashing men, but corrective action, absolutely. Like you can't keep treating a certain type of women a certain way and don't think that they're going to speak up about it. And even if they don't speak up about it, then there will be somebody who would speak up. But my whole gist behind it is a lot of us have a lot of the same experience with men in our culture. And we're not dating or encountering the same men, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many of us that have the same story, and none of us are dating or encountering the same type of man.
Mm-hmm.
That should tell us something. If we're all having the same experiences, that should be an eye opener to, hey, let's change the behavior and what we're doing because it's not working and we're unhappy. But that's not the case. So I think my whole being vocal is just to kind of, raise awareness, give a little bit open-minded, think on both perspectives. Like, I'm a very open-minded person, so I can see things from a man point of view. I can see it from a female point of view. I'm not one-sided. And that's mainly because I'm the only girl. Like, I have 4 brothers. I have no choice but to be, open-minded to everybody's perspective. But some things, I do feel like a lot of men try to tell women how to be women. And you can't be, if you're not a woman, you can't tell me how to be a woman. Mm-hmm. So take my advice, or if I say that, no, what woman told you that? And you say no woman ever told you that? Then listen to the woman that's telling you how a woman is thinking or feeling or acting. Like, some assumptions just be so far-fetched. You never heard that from a woman. That's just something that you and your homeboy sat around and conjured up, and now it's for all the females in the world, but y'all never heard it from a female. That's crazy to me. Like, so then when a female talks about it, it's like, well, no, that ain't it. Like, you just in this one stance. But who told you that? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think my perspective, just me being open, is just from seeing a lot of people just kind of bash us and blame everything on women. Like, they just do it. Anything and everything that goes wrong in the community is a black woman. And kids being gay, black women.
All right, you can tell she's very passionate about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, not because of, but I do like it because she would go. She keep going. I'm not gonna lie. But I also not on purpose, not on purpose. Because
okay. Just making sure.
I feel like you're skipping down a lot of lines. And I want to make sure we
hitting points, different points.
But I wanted to keep it going because no, go ahead. I want to keep it going because I wanted to show you, like, even people we talk to, like, you can see the passion in what I'm talking about in the beginning. Like, that's what I was saying when I was texting, like, this is gonna be a one because.
Oh yeah,
that's how she talk. That's how she be online too.
Yeah, this is fire. All right.
Go ahead and ask your question though. I'm sorry.
But I just wanted your take on the term toxic masculinity. Like, is that pretty much what you're saying? Like, do you believe in that term? Is that a real thing per se? So I've heard different takes on that.
To be honest, that's my first time hearing toxic masculinity.
You've never heard that term? Mm-hmm. It's kind of, they've been using it less. Like this past year, I haven't seen it a lot, but in the past few years, I've definitely heard that, especially around when the Me Too movement was like getting really big. Yeah, getting heavy. Yeah, I want to use the right word there, but yeah, heavy.
I'm not really sure what it would entail as far as toxic masculinity. Yeah, I'm not. You probably would have to give me something surrounding around it. I
don't know what the actual term like means. I've heard that term before, but I'm going to put in 2 words together. If I put masculinity with toxic, of course, I'm thinking about some of the stuff she's saying. Pretty much like, a man. Even you said like a man will tell a woman, how to be a woman, right? But they ain't heard it from a woman,
right?
But you gotta think that same man is like thinking he knows how to be a man, but never heard it from a man. So it's like that. It's kind of common to start doing like. Well, if they feel like they're a good man, like they feel like that, or the 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 20,000 women they know, some they were good men, they feel like that, So I think it's common to be like, well, if I feel like this and I ain't been taught what a man is, I don't have to be taught what a woman is either. It's just common sense. But we all know that being of a certain gender is not just common sense,
right?
Because it's not. We don't try to. We try not to go off of like what gender basis is because it's a new era now. It's a new era. Women not just staying at home and cooking and letting you have outside babies and all the other stuff. That's not the, well, I'm not saying not doing it, but that's not the
right.
It's not the norm.
as acceptable as
Yeah.
it was.
Now it's the
previously.
whole couldn't be
Right.
me type of thing. Back
Right.
then it was like, he did this and
Right.
it was,
He took care of the house.
Yeah.
He's
So,
here.
yeah.
And the whole, he came home.
Most
yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
and so I say that and I say from hearing her talk, I think that's kind of what it would be too. Like
Mm-hmm.
you masculine, but it's kind of toxic because you using that to tell me what I should be doing.
Yeah.
Because technically speaking, we live in a society where I guess if you're a man, you're leading, you're a right leader, the woman will probably follow you, granted you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Right.
But then people try to use that as like, well, no, you should follow me because I'm a man.
Because I'm a man. Exactly.
Not because I'm a leader.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm a man.
And I'm telling you this, so you should listen because I'm saying it to you, not because it's right, or not because I got research or my mom told me or these respectable women then told me. It's just because I think that's right.
Right.
And like she said, I talked with my homeboys one day, and it made sense when we said it. So fuck it, right? It makes sense now, and that's kind of I think where I would look at toxic masculinity as like using you being a man to your advantage, but you're not really like stepping in those shoes the right way. You're not really leading the right way. You're not really manning the right way. You just got the private part.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with that perspective. Like the reason why I was asking that because you were saying y'all were dealing with some of the same things with men, but not even it being the same type of
Not
men.
being the
So
same
that's
type
why
of
I had brought that.
Exactly. And that would be the same type. I know a lot of people like to generalize, like, oh, y'all meeting men that's, from the same surroundings, whether they talking about clubs or,
Same jobs or
same
some shit
areas
like that,
and
yeah.
stuff. But that's not the case. Like, I dated some prestigious men, lawyers, doctors, like firemen, like preachers. I've dated some prestigious men, millionaires. It is just who they are. So, and it's a lot more of that's going around than anything because they are looking at each other.
Hey, can I ask a question? I'm sorry, I'm being nosy. Why you broke with the millionaire for?
Why I broke up with him, it wasn't for me.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Just because you have money
That's
doesn't
growth.
necessarily make
That's some
you
growth right there.
But just because you have money doesn't necessarily make you a good person.
That's
Like
agree
having
with
money
that.
doesn't necessarily make you a good person. Like we own private jets, everything. It comes with something though. It comes with shutting up. It comes with following the rules to the T and all that other stuff. I'm not her. Let's just-
Everything comes with a price, nothing
right.
free.
Everything comes with a price.
Can I ask you a question? Because I ain't trying to be that person, but I know it was said of the podcast, and when you said that whole the money and the millionaires and they come with a price, that's what I think of when people say, like this is just my theory. I'm not trying to diss nobody, but when people say like, oh, they can never make me hate somebody, right? I feel like you taking like your like for real your admiration for them. They sold albums, they did this, whatever. Oh, and they did something bad.
They did
had
something
to.
bad.
They had to because
but
like why
you'll
would you
never
hate
hate
them?
them
Like, why would
because
you?
of
I don't
this.
I don't care if you touch girls. I don't care if you beat that girl. I don't care if you did this. I don't care if you chased that girl down the hallway. I like your music. I like the
your
fact you got
music.
money. I would be with you. You know what I'm saying? I admire you. I adore you. I think you're fine. Whatever. I like your tattoos. I don't care what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's when she said that. That's what I thought about. That's why I said it take growth because a lot of people would stay.
Right,
Yeah, people,
but that's a lot of women too. I mean, and we don't even have to do it on that type of level. We can bring it down to just our realm of life of how women accept men who don't take care of their kids. That's a very basic level. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just because X, Y, and Z.
Most
So it's all equivalent to the same thing. It's just that's a higher level, right? It's money,
Facts.
but for the most part, is women who actually date men who don't take care of their kids and they praise them and all that other stuff. And I don't see how that makes them a good person, but to them, they are. So it's equivalent to it.
And I don't know if you have any like backstory on this or any kind of not personal experience per se, but knowing somebody. But you just mentioned a good point about men not taking care of their kids, right? And then they'll get into another relationship with someone else,
Absolutely,
right?
and take care of their kids.
And take care of those kids, right?
Absolutely.
We talk about mental health, and right now, because I look at you as I'm gonna say this word, and I'm probably like, shit, that's not the same. But I become like a black woman advocate. That's how on social media I feel like that. Even though I joke with you about the hating men thing, it's a joke to me. I like to troll. You know that I troll 24/7. I just can't stop doing it. I'm addicted to it. But the thing is, I do look at her as a black woman activist. I tell her like, no days off. Damn, no days off, right? But it's needed, right? And
Yeah,
when she
most
just said,
definitely.
made a good point because you will have a person. Imagine you have one kid, multiple kids. You know what I'm saying? With a person, they ain't taking care of the ones y'all got, the ones y'all made, lay down with, right? They go somewhere else. They start taking care of those kids, whatever. I don't know if it's just lower maintenance because we don't know what's being taken care of them. They could just
Right.
watch them and then that's good enough. But hell, you ain't watch yours, right? But you're not
Right,
taking
but
nothing off the woman's load that you made kids with, but you're okay doing it here, right? Whether it's bare minimum, I don't know if you're doing less, I don't know, right? But we talk about mental health. Like, imagine the mental health or the psyche of the woman that made kids with that person, how they feel. It's like, damn, like, you already want nothing over here. Now you're going over here trying to be a superhero, and that's pissing me off even more because you got some over here. But what happens in society is that woman looks like the bitter black woman.
Yep, she looked
I
bad.
can-
as
yeah.
a
You know what I'm
girl.
saying? So-
Angry,
so
upset.
It's
like,
twice your mental get
Right.
effed with. In fact, he got the balls to do that. But then also, if you complain, if you say something about it, this bitch better.
bitter, upset, all of the above. Absolutely.
Like,
Absolutely.
talk about that from a perspective of a black woman. Anybody you talk to, if you ever deal with it, I don't know.
Well, I'm not gonna talk from like other people's experiences. I tell people all the time I want to speak on things that I actually know. So I have my own situation. I am a single mom, and pretty much I would say not by choice. Like I didn't wake up and say, "Oh, I wanted to be a single mom." Nobody wants to be a single mom. I did not sign up to be a single mom. I just didn't. So me being a single mom is like, oh my God. But I'm a single mom. So I have 3 kids by one person. And I'm not gonna say he left, but we broke up, and pretty much the whole gist behind it, and men can be bitter too. Just as well as women are bitter, men can be bitter as well.
I agree with that.
So for the simple fact of me not wanting to be in a relationship with him, this is more so like accepting a man's toxic behavior, right? Long line of toxic behavior. So if you cheat on me, I'm supposed to take you back. So I've never been one to actually, to me, cheating is just like the end all be all. I don't care what nobody say. That's just my thing. So he cheated. That was the end of our relationship because for me, you made the choice for our relationship for us. And I'm fine with that. But in his response, because I didn't accept him or take him back, is, oh, I got something for you. I'm just not going to take care of the kids. So as long as we're not together, you're not going to take care of the kids. But if we're together, you'll take care of the kids. Now, although people don't like to believe that, but that's a lot of our situations, a lot of female situations. It just simply be that easy. Like we're not laying down with bums. He was a great provider while we were together. I did not. He's like 7 years older than me. I did not work. He took care of us. So it wasn't that. It was his ego of, oh, she's not going to take me back. She don't take me back. I'm going to show her. Ain't no way she can take care of 3 kids by herself, whatever it may be, whatever the ego is. But then you go and you get in a relationship with somebody else, right? And although she doesn't have 3 kids, she has 1 child. But you're still playing a role to a father figure to somebody else's child without being a father figure to your own kids. That's crazy and bizarre. Now, for me, I've never been one of those baby mamas that act out. I just ain't. You know you got 3 kids. I know you got 3 kids.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Why do I need to call you to say, hey, your kids need X, Y, and Z? I'm never going to do that. We don't need to discuss none of that because before we broke up, you were doing just that. So I don't need to tell you that. However, if I'm in a relationship with a man who has kids, as the woman, I'm going to make sure that he does his part, if that makes sense. So I'm not bitter. Like, come get them. They both can come get them for all I care. I'm not keeping them away from them. I actually prepared, like, y'all, I took my kids used to go with their dad on the weekend. I would send the TV, the microwave. What else they ain't have? My son game, all that stuff. It was like literally packing up like my house to send over there just so they won't have an excuse to why they're not getting them. Like, I'm gonna make my kids as comfortable as possible. I'll see y'all on Sunday. So it wasn't that. Like, I'm not bitter about you being in a relationship. Just do your part. Like, do your part as a father. I'm gonna do my part as a mom. We're gonna be okay. I even wanted to go into the Army. So I had asked my kid's father, because men make a big deal about women getting government assistance and all the other stuff too. That's like a big thing. Like, the only way y'all surviving is because you get government assistance and all that stuff. So in my mind, you can have it. You can have government assistance. I was staying in an apartment at the time. You can stay in this apartment. I had 2 cars, get the 2 cars, all of that. I'm cool with it. Just I need this so that I can reset our life. He said no. Right, because that's
Wow.
another way to keep you down, right? So men are extremely
Manipulation.
bitter as well. And what I'm saying is the same person that he was in a relationship with then, he's in the same relationship with now. To this day, we're like, 14 years later? So we're 14 years later. For 14 years, you allow this as a black woman. As a black woman, for 14 years, you allow a man to lay up under you without taking care of his kids, but taking care of yours. And that was
It's
acceptable
unacceptable.
to you.
Yeah, that's
right?
unacceptable.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I have my own experience, and it's not just me. It's several of us women. And it may not be exactly the same situation. Some women are bitter. I have brothers. Some baby mamas are just bitter. They make it hard. If you're a good father, they make it hard for you to see them, because the gist behind that is kind of similar to what my kid's father do, is to make it hard or make it an inconvenience if you are a good parent. So if you're a good parent, if you're a good father, and you want to be there for your kids, how do I hurt you? I'm going to take the kid away from you. I'm going to not make the kid accessible for you, so they make it hard. So there are bitter women out here as well. However, a vast majority of women just want their kids' father to come get their kids. It's not that hard. It's not, and it's more so like, I think we try to make it like it's about money. It's not about money. Them kids needs more than just money. Money is a great tool, but it's nothing like the presence of your father. It's nothing like the presence of whatever you learn from the male. You get what I'm saying? Like, you get it from me. You're going to get all of female. Like, each one of my kids got all perspectives from a female perspective. But they need, in order for them to go into the world and be successful, they do need a male perspective. They do. And they need someone that pretty much came from them. Like, they came from him. Why do I act like this? Why do I, whatever it is that they need, they need it from, traits, right? They need that from their dad. So, like I always say, even to this day, he can come today, and I'm never gonna say, "Oh no, you can't talk to your kids. You can't." Nothing. That, come get them. Come talk to them, and they grown. My kids are 20, 18, and 17 now. Still to this day, they need their dad. His son is in college. Like, he needs somebody to talk to transition to, and I'm never going to block that. But I don't know what it is about men, but sometimes you got to shove that ego down and just show up. Right, and take whatever comes with that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not going to be easy. It's not. He's not going to be receptible. None of the kids are going to be easily receptible to it, because you just showing up out of nowhere. But you got to kind of push through
Put that work in.
But anything that makes a man uncomfortable, they run. It's crazy, but they do. Any type of situation that a man steps into and it makes him uncomfortable, run. In some shape, form, or fashion. And it could be as something little as me dating a man. Same situation. If you encounter some type of problem, they're running. Whether it's running is turning your phone off. Running is not having the conversation. Running is going ghost. All of that is considered running. So yeah, you're running. But I can't speak on a lot of other people's situations, but that's my own personal experience when it comes down to like dealing with a black woman who pretty much made it okay. And it's more people, more women like that exist. That's why the cycle keeps turning of acceptable behavior. But just as soon as women start putting their feet down, women like her put their feet down, like, no, that's unacceptable. That's totally unacceptable for you to be over here and we don't go see them, we don't talk to them, we don't do anything. Like, what kind of man are you? That's a bad character trait in a man. If you would take care of my child, but not your own biological kid.
I do want to interject a little bit. I just want to say, like, because I know you probably speaking of a certain group of people, but also it's not every man.
It's not every man.
I want to make sure, because I want to make sure somebody says, "Oh, you didn't say this." You know how people are.
It's not every man. If you do not fit in the category,
but a good portion.
It's a great deal of men.
And then also, I wanted you to kind of interject a little bit, because she spoke about something I thought was important. Like, I didn't grow up with my dad, like in my household my whole life. I know you kind of looked at that.
I definitely struck that.
And she was mentioning, like, you know, not having, I mean, money is cool, it's a good tool, right? But you need things from your dad. I know you always mentioned growing up and sometimes like not having the money, but you had your dad in your life. So like, talk a little about that. Like, how did that, looking back at it now, when she say that, like, do you feel like a little bit like, you know, it wasn't that bad after all? Or was it one of them things where you're like, I wanted the money, fuck it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, being that I already went through what I went through with my dad, I wouldn't trade that because I wouldn't be the person I am. Like one of the things that we can get from having both parents is, you know, a sense of identity. And I like how I am. I love who I am. I wouldn't trade that for nothing. So a lot of things that I learned from my dad growing up was, you know, just how to stay strong. Like not even just physically, like even though he was, but like mentally. Like shit's gonna happen regardless.
Yes.
Like
So I wanted to just say when you just said that too, because she mentioned that, like she was like how when something uncomfortable, man, run.
Mhm.
You was taught from your dad pretty much to stay put.
Stay put.
You know what I'm saying? So we talk a lot about you coming up and you know and the stuff you had to go through, but he ain't run. You know what I'm saying? Like we just gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that's just a full circle moment what she was saying and what you kind of went through. I thought that's just dope. I wanted to make sure. I'm sorry. I wanted to make sure.
You good. I was definitely thinking about it, but I want you to know. Go ahead and say what you had to say. Like speak the whole story and everything. But yeah, I definitely got that from my father, and that's something that I, you know what I'm saying, using now in this point in my life. And I get the other thing you were saying too, because even though, you know, your kids were 20, 18, 17, that they still would need their father. I agree with that because I was 20, 21, 22 when my dad passed.
Really?
Yeah. It's funny. It's coming up on 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Father's Day.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Like the exact date. It's crazy. But I still felt that, like, that gap of like, dang, I could be asking him how you would handle this situation. How you would handle this situation.
Absolutely.
Not just with finances, but relationships or anything like.
Or just going through it with your kids.
Just going through
life
kids.
with your kids.
Exactly.
Just going through life because life is different. So although it's not the same as when we grew up or when they grew up, just going through life with your kids. 'Cause I'm sure my kids' father didn't go to school or he didn't go to college, but 2 of his kids is in college. So you get to experience that with your kids.
Yeah, that's
and
dope.
whether you had the college experience or you're learning the college experience through your kids, they still probably would want their father to be there and be part of it. And just provide them with some type of guidance. You might not know the college experience, but you know life. You done been through life.
Knowing life.
So life would help you out. Like I got a phone call from my son today. He was like, "Ma, it's different. It is different. Like when you've been a star all your life and you go around other stars, it's not a reality till you get there. You get what I'm saying? I'm a female. I'm a girl. I never would want to be a man. But I feel like his dad would be the perfect person to pick up the phone and call along with his uncles and say, hey, I'm going through this, and them showing up for him.
Give him that confidence.
Right?
You the man,
because he
you know?
needs it. And he may take it from me, of course, but it's nothing like being able to relate from the same species, the same, you know.
You're right.
I'm his mom. I'm supposed to encourage him. I'm going to show up for him every single time. But it's nothing like a sense of confidence when it comes from, I get more confidence when I get advice from my great grandma or any woman that's older than me.
That
and they
experienced life.
Right, that done experienced life, or even bring it together. Like you doing it right. Like giving me that form of confidence of you doing it right. No, you doing it wrong. Like simmer down. That's not how you're supposed to be doing this. But it came from a woman.
I think you make a good point too. Like I think you kind of give him a good amount of courage, right? But the dad or the uncle will give him like a high level of confidence. You know what I'm saying? It's somebody hearing it from a man like you could do it. Like I really can't do it. I mean, your mom say it's not saying you don't believe it, but part of us feel like your mom supposed to say that anyway.
She's supposed to say it.
But when your dad say it's like, or you know, your uncle say it, or somebody, a man that you admire, and you look up to, say it's like, okay, your word is your bond because you're a man. If you're a real man, you know. So I definitely like that. So I know we talk about like just the motherhood aspect and the mental health aspect of kind of doing things yourself. The only thing you got in here too is balancing multiple roles. I want to kind of touch on that. I don't want to go in order. I don't do order. I just kind of do my own thing. But you touch on that a lot, and I know I hate. I won't say I hate. The reality of it is, when you think of a black woman, you look at it. It's synonymous with a woman wearing multiple hats.
Yep.
A woman doing multiple things. Sometimes alone. Majority of times alone. We look at black women as strong for those reasons as well. Like, and really society is kind of, hate to say it, but kind of okay with it. It's like it's been looked at as a norm at this point. You can start off one, like, what's your take on it? I know, your mom and your dad was together, but just as far as black women doing it alone and the help, maybe not having help, the society looking at it as a norm, like, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, my mom had like help here and there, like far as when people be trying to say, government assistance or whatever. But my mom was definitely taught me how to hustle as well. It wasn't just my dad. Like, she definitely got out of the mud. She definitely wasn't finna just sit there like, oh, this is my life. No, like she finna do everything she can to change it.
Mm-hmm.
Not to put all business out there, but she didn't graduate high school, but she went and got GED. She went to college, and she went and did the damn thing. So that showed me that I could do it as well on that side. Like she definitely was like a confidence builder and everything and such for me as well. I never looked down on anything she had to go through or nothing like that. Like, always saw great character in her.
When I think about it, like, cause I grew up with my mom. I'm pretty much a mama's boy. I grew up with my mom for most of my life, majority of my life. My dad was there, but like when they left, that was, they was back and forth, but he wasn't there. He wasn't in the house. So I did see her do a lot of stuff. I remember him being there, her not working. Then he was 6, 7 when he left, and her working from that point on. You see a difference, I want to say a little bit of thing. I have to you. I know that, once we kind of throw you out of you, we could be good on this topic here. But I looked at it a few times. I spoke on it a couple of years ago. I was saying that, sometimes it can hinder you seeing that growing up, because you start to think that's just the norm. Like, my mom never cried a day in my life. Like, now it's different with her stuff now, but she cried one time her whole life. She cut herself trying to make hamburgers. She stabbed herself. So of course she was crying. And then one time I did something wrong and she was crying. But other than that, she never cried. Like, never in her life. My aunt never cried. I never seen her cry. My grandmother never seen them cry.
Never seen them cry.
So in my mind, like, when I see, like, if you hurt a woman and you see them crying, you're like, yo, chill out. Like, like, it's tough. Like, you think they soft a little bit because you seen them cry. But really, I don't know if mom cried. She might have cried in the shower. Maybe didn't she cry? Maybe she didn't cry. But regardless of the fact, that wasn't the norm. That wasn't, like, it's not normal to not have to show emotion because you got kids. It's not normal to have to do things alone. It's not normal to have to, figure out a way on your own for 3 kids at certain times of life. Not to, diss my dad and like that, but it's just not the norm. And then I also looked at it from a standpoint of, like, you start to, you can grow up thinking that it's normal. So when it's your turn to do something like that, I ain't had that, but when it's her turn to do that, you like, oh well, my mom did it, so you should be fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know mad black women that do it, they be fine. And I think that's the ideology with some men is like, my mom did it, you fine. My grandma did it, you fine. Like, why she can't take care of the kids?
That's something that men do.
Yeah,
like, when they throw it back to us, they be like, well, my grandma wasn't like this when we was back in the days. So my grandma did this, or my mom did this. Like, that's exactly what happens a lot.
Even the second part we're gonna make with that too is, like I said, I never thought about it just now, but like seeing her start working. So I was in 2nd grade, and I'm gonna use this little example just to kind of paint a picture of, like, 1st grade, she didn't really give me money, but she did every now and then, probably my dad money, whatever. But in 2nd grade, I remember, like, I was getting like sometimes $7, $5 to go to school because, you in New York, you in the after school program, cool. When she started working, I remember getting like $2. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't the same amount of money I was getting before because, well, my dad made more money. But I never looked at it no way, but looking at it now, it's like she tried to do the best she could do. You know what I'm saying? But I think about sometimes her, like, we coming home. So she about to come home. We know she get up at 5 o'clock. So we had to come to Brooklyn about 6:30, right? And so she like, hey, make sure the bathroom clean, da da da. So of course I ain't cleaned up until like 5:45. Try to get it right before I clean, right? But then you mad, you wonder why she home, she bitching, she complaining, like why she screaming. Never mind, she done had a rough day at work. I don't know if she needs some money for something, and my pop might be answering, nobody helping her. I don't know if she feel like, damn, I need y'all to do a little bit of stuff and y'all can't do that. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what the black women going through, and they come home and they complain, and you like, yo, mommy always complain when she come home, damn. But we don't know what all she going through. You know what I'm saying? She gotta make sure you got $2, you got $2, you got $2. She might not have but $12. You know what I'm saying? She gotta get the mat in the back. Then you got the rent coming up. You know what I'm saying? She got other things she gotta do. We need shoes. We need sneakers. Maybe the other half ain't really just pitching in. So now you gotta ask this person what you hate to do. But it's like, well, it's your kids too, right? So you gotta bite your ego, or push your ego to the side to ask that person, which you kind of know it's gonna be a no, or it's not gonna be what you want. You want 200. I got 75. No, you got 200, motherfucker. But you want the other 125 for you. So it's just a lot of stuff like that you think about that the woman go through, and then she still got to like kind of be there with the kids. She still got to kind of nurture, you know, if you hurt your leg or something, or if my head hurt or something like that, I gotta go lay on her. But well, she wanna cry. She wanna, you know, be sad. She can't do that. She gotta get up and go get it. She gotta get up and go get it. And what happens is you start seeing that, it becomes the norm, and you condition yourself to do it on your own. But that don't mean you want to do it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I push it to you from there. That was my perspective on that when I think of a woman wearing multiple hats, and not only just to wear multiple hats, but having to wear it and wear it proudly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you complain one time,
time,
you the bitter black woman,
Right.
regardless of
or
what.
you're
I don't
unfit
care.
mom.
You're unfit. Why
You're
am I taking care of your
unfit.
kids for?
You're unfit.
So I'm probably push it to you, but that was my take on it. Just, you know, I ain't a woman, but you know, I just know women. So
I think balancing multiple roles is a lot. So I always tell my kids, like, I'm managing 3 different personalities. My kids are 3 different people, plus myself, right? So there's 3 different emotions, 3 different needs. They're not the same people.
learning everybody.
I have to learn everybody individually. Everybody has their individual wants and needs. We had this, I'm not gonna say an argument, but we had like this dispute, and they wanted to say like my son was the favorite, and I don't have a favorite. So I had to explain to them I don't have a favorite. Y'all all are uniquely different. I have an oldest. She's the oldest girl. There will never be another oldest girl. She's
Right.
uniquely different in that way alone.
Mm-hmm.
My son is the only boy. Nobody will ever be the only boy in our family. That's his unique difference. I have a baby. Nobody will ever be the baby. She will always be the baby. Y'all are uniquely different. I can't have a favorite. Because
Your
y'all-
daughter is the youngest.
You know, my daughter's youngest.
That's what you just said was dope, and I want to kind of piggyback on that. I'm trying to make a clip of that too. I think the same thing. You got the perfect set of kids, right?
Yes.
And I mean by that, like my mom, it's vice versa for us. I'm the oldest, my boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the first boy, the oldest. You know what I'm saying? You can't replicate that. All right,
Yeah.
cool. And I got a sister,
Mhm.
the only girl,
The only
Mhm.
girl.
middle child, only girl though. Can't duplicate that.
Can't
He's the only
duplicate.
girl. Then I got the baby. Ain't no other baby boy. He's the only baby. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we do the same thing, Mom. We say,
Mhm.
oh, you be baby. You don't favorite the baby. You baby the baby.
The baby. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You and you know what? You the firstborn.
Your first one is first
And you
one.
middle child, the middle
And
child.
the middle
Yeah.
child is the middle child.
Yep.
And it's a perfect balance.
Right. It's,
Because
it's,
you're going, even when they get older and as you grow and they grow, I can guarantee you that them relationships are gonna stay the same, and they're gonna start to see what you mean. Like
exactly.
I guarantee you the baby, I'm not saying they're gonna struggle, but the other two are gonna have to help the baby. It's just gonna be common sense. But the oldest gonna be able to hold on a little bit. Like she gonna be
Yeah.
that's gonna be your
Absolutely.
in that middle gonna be your, like, that's their backbone. That's gonna be the enforcer. And I don't know your kids. I'm just assuming.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But I thought about that because I got the same thing, and I never said the favorite. I think it's common to say that word because
It is.
when you're getting baby. But
Mhm.
think about but I don't think they think about the struggles of being baby because
It
that's
don't.
it's not cute. Like I don't want to be baby because I love my brother to death. I love you, Don, but boy, that's a baby for real. That nigga's a baby for real.
Mhm. And my baby, she acts just like the baby. She's the brat of the family. She just is. My oldest acts just like me. She's a spitting image. She's the mirror of me, just a younger version. My son, I tell my kids all the time, each one of them have something unique about them that's a part of me.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
In
dope.
some shape, form, or fashion. That's just what they have. And nobody can ever take that away. And God designed it perfectly that way because it needed to be that way. It did. My son is the athlete that I wanted to be, but I didn't have the support. Right? My son is just that. My daughter, she was everything. She was salutatorian, Miss Laney, top of her class, dance captain. She was everything that I could have been had I had the support. My baby girl, she's the most popular girl that I know.
Makes sense.
rather.
That's the baby for you.
Just naturally, and I always want to be a popular girl, right?
Okay.
So each one of them have their own uniqueness because I was a part of their support system, right? And I could have been each one of them, but I didn't have the support system. So like I told them, God designed it this way for a reason, and that's why y'all all are uniquely different. So not really comparing. Y'all can't compare each other because y'all don't compare to each other. I can't have a favorite because y'all are all my favorite. Y'all are all part of me. But it is something with balancing roles because you lose your identity. in motherhood. Y'all hear women say all the time, like
Talk about
after
that.
this, huh?
Talk about that. I
Yeah,
like
you
that.
you lose your identity. I was a mom all their life. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Work, go to school, take care of them. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't step out of box. There's nothing that you can find on me that would diminish my character to make my kids look at me in a crazy way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people say I'm vocal. I'm vocal now, right? I'm my own person. I've been my own person, but my kids are raised. And they're raised to be their
You got
own.
vocal through growth and prosperity,
Right.
pretty much.
So nothing that I can do, and everybody be like, oh, I can say something and it would hinder my son. Never. It would never hinder my son because he's his own person and he stands on his own. I'm my own person. I stand on my own. We are a representation of the family, so we're not going to ever do anything to despise the family. But me speaking passionately about what I want to talk about doesn't hinder my family.
Mm-hmm.
So, but definitely that role, you as a mom, you don't pursue. I didn't go on a lot of trips and the whole phase, the whole phase, or I've never had one.
What
of those.
age is that supposed to happen? I'm just,
I don't
you
know
don't know.
what
Damn.
I
I'm
don't know
trying to figure
what
out.
age it happens, but
She
it can
don't know
happen.
nothing
I feel
about
like
that.
it can happen.
She don't know nothing about
I
that.
don't know. I think you holding back. I'll be honest. I think you holding back, bro.
I think it can happen at any stage. I do. I really do.
No, listen. We gotta put an age stamp on that thing right
because
now.
think about it. All right, so I had my first child when I was 16. I've been a mom since I was 16.
Yeah, you kind
I'm
of.
36, right? I've been a mom since I was 16. That means I did not go through a teenage phase where I was out in the streets and stuff. I've been a mom since I was 16 years old. So I
And they all by the same person.
I
Right.
got you.
So let's just say now I'm 36. My baby turns 18 next year.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'll be 37. All my kids are grown.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say, okay, now I enter into this whole phase, whatever that may be, right? So it's not really an age bracket. It's
get what you're
when you
saying.
feel like you want to enter into it. Now, I don't necessarily know what the whole phase is. I don't.
What's a phase where they kind of be a hoe and then like they just
How
like,
you know?
And they experiment a lot of things, a lot of different things. It's not necessarily they
You got
gotta
a
have sex with
hypothesis,
people.
man.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
a theory. I don't think it's necessarily you got to have sex with everybody. I don't think that's what it is. I think you just experimenting things and you look promiscuous. But we
Oh, okay.
in our community,
It's a hot
we
girl
call
summer.
that.
It's a hot girl summer.
One-
It's a hot girl
Come
summer.
on, man.
Okay, I can do that. I
Shout out
can
to
see that.
Megan, man.
I can
But
see that.
that is a more. I think that's a more mature. I
Way
know
of
people like
saying it, yeah.
I know we like to sometimes men we like when we don't like a phrase when we like a entity or like a thing
For sure.
we talk bad about it.
Talk
Yeah.
bad about it, real
Y'all
bad.
have your hot girl summer, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like they just having fun, brother. Like
Yes.
if your girl's your girl, you be good. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying? Like
good. You real good.
your
You
girl
real
got
good.
hot girl summer be faithful.
Because
bro.
who you had
It's very
who
possible.
you had your hot girl summer with? You get what I'm saying? Like y'all
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
have your hot
yeah.
girl summer with someone. That's what's crazy to me about men. You're the things in which you do, you partake with somebody's daughter. Like so for you to act shocked as if this don't exist, it exists. They're just speaking about
I think
it now.
sometimes too, like how you having strong feelings on something, it kind of like tells a lot about yourself sometimes too.
Yes.
Like you know what I'm saying? I think that's what it be. It's more telling, like it's more revealing of what you kind of do, what you into. You know, because if you like feel away about hot girl summer, it's like, well, what you saying? You everything in the club. You know what I'm saying? Like if a girl got this on, you think she, you know what I'm saying? So it's just. I think it speaks to a lot of like your mentality on certain things
what
as
you
well.
experience.
I'm sorry, I had to ask you about the whole face thing. It was
Oh
just,
my God.
I ain't know if it was an age, but you make a good point. That's a good point because you might have to live life first a little bit. And then, you know.
Yeah. So I don't think it has an age limit to it.
But do you think every girl got to go through that at all? Like
No.
okay.
I don't think I'll ever enter into a whole phase.
Not
That's-
you, just
No, I'm just saying in general. You said
Okay,
do
okay.
every girl. So for me personally, I
So,
don't
yeah,
think
that
I
would
would
be every-
ever
okay. That makes
enter
sense.
into it. And I don't think it's a lot of females that enter into it. I think it shouldn't be called a whole phase. I think they should. It's experiment. It's dating. It's getting to know you. Right. However that may looks, it's getting to know you, and that's something that women aren't taught. You're not taught to learn yourself, to get to know you. Men get to figure it out. They can go through a plethora of different women to find their preference. Women don't. If you date this one, this one, and this one, and this one, you're hoe. You're hoe. But in reality, he didn't qualify. Neither did he. Neither did he. Neither did he. That didn't make me a hoe. They did not qualify to be my spouse.
Yeah.
But that's okay for a man. It's not okay for a woman. I was supposed to deal with whatever he dished out to keep this whole title away
Give
from
him
me.
time. Give them time to grow. Let 'em find
Right,
themselves.
right. Find
Help 'em
themselves,
grow.
develop them, and all that other stuff. Like, no, and some women, they did. I had a conversation with one of my best friends, or former best friends, that she stayed in a relationship for 10 years. I would never stay in a relationship for 10 years as somebody's girlfriend. Ever. Never in life. But you lost all that simply because you didn't want to be a hoe. Right? He wasn't good for you in year 1. Year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, 6. It took 10 years.
Gotta relax, bro.
Got her LeBron bag.
I mean,
Not 4,
listen.
not 5.
Listen,
Not
the
6.
truth is the truth.
Not
Y'all,
7.
listen, the truth is
Not
the
8.
truth. But it's a lot of us out here like that that's just settled because we're uncomfortable with change.
Yeah.
We are. We don't like change. We don't like learning new people. That means I got to start over and learn somebody else. But I'm also conditioned to think that if I do start over, then what is he, she, it, all them gonna say, like, y'all just see me with him. That's why you should date in private, right? Date in private until you get it right, because you don't know what getting it right looks like yet, right? We're I guess in a hurry to show people that we're in a relationship, but the relationship hasn't even matured or developed enough for you to show somebody that you're in a relationship. You don't even know you. A lot of us women don't even know how to communicate.
Somebody easily can poke holes through
No,
that.
no,
Yes.
no, no, no. Hold on.
Yes.
No. Say that again.
A lot of us women don't know how to communicate.
I just want to make sure. You know.
Absolutely.
Because people.
Absolutely.
Because I'm like, you laugh, but you know, I joke a lot. But seriously, people are gonna watch it and be like, she ain't say nothing about women. No accountability.
Yeah.
I need that part to be said because she has said something about women, but we just didn't break it down because we didn't cut her off. But a lot of things she said about women is it's still relation to like kind of being treated by a man. You know how you being treated by that. So
Yeah.
I want to make sure I said that because I do think that's the thing. I was seeing something today, and I don't know if you agree with this or not. I don't know verbatim what it was said, but you know, you were saying toxic masculinity. I think they replaced that word for some reason with narcissistic. I
Yes.
think that's a new
Oh
word.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Don't
You
get
right
me
about
started,
that.
bro. I might throw this microphone at somebody.
You right about
You
that.
know what I'm saying? Like, but I also seen something the other day, and it was like, yo, I'm not trying to diss women, but I'm trying to balance it, you know. And I know when we use that term a lot, they're using it for men, you know.
Oh,
Sometimes
yeah,
men in
most
power
definitely.
or whatever can be, or just wanting to be toxic, masculine, use your manness to, you know, whatever, right?
Mhm.
But I saw something the other day, and it was like, you know, a lot of women are also narcissistic because they can't communicate.
Absolutely.
And because they feel like because they're a woman, you're supposed to treat
You're
them this
supposed
way.
to be.
You're supposed to do this. Like you're supposed to because I'm a woman. Meanwhile, you need to find yourself, learn yourself, communicate, talk. Be okay with, you know, y'all both finding yourself before you say, well, because you didn't do this for me, you're not this. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't do X, Y, Z, you're not a man. Because you didn't do this, because you didn't react this way, you're not a man. And you'll make a man feel less than a man. And that's also narcissistic in the same breath. I wanted to share, but I didn't want to, you know, make it something I was bashing women. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
interesting.
No, that's real
I have a
shit,
point. I have a point for that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, who taught women how they're supposed to be treated?
From women I know?
No, who in general, all
general.
your life, even down to your daughters, who teaches your daughters how she should be treated by a man?
Oh, me. I mean,
Let's start with it. Yeah. We'll start with it.
But then mom, I have a joint thing, so I don't have.
You have a
know,
joint,
yeah.
but for the most part, most girls are taught how to be treated by a man by men.
Mm-hmm.
The expectations and things of which we have came from men. The standards, men. I didn't know how to be treated by a man until a man treated me like that. So
But
now I
before
have
then-
this standard.
Before then, like, how did you gauge that then?
What
Because
you-
like you saying a man, and I'm assuming
My
you mean like a
uncles?
real good man.
Mm-mm,
But did you ever like meet a bad man and think that was how it's supposed to go first?
absolutely not.
Okay.
So you're saying it starts early
It
on
starts
in
early
childhood.
on. Yeah,
Okay,
when I
okay.
was
Okay.
uncles,
I get what you're
cousins,
saying, yeah.
brothers,
And
nephews.
I want to keep. I'm sorry, but I gotta ask this question because you said uncle, but did it? And I know we had an episode before, so I know a little bit more about you. But did it ever feel you ever felt the way because the man wasn't your dad teaching you that?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm curious
Because
about
y'all,
the
we grew up
absence
in the
of it.
community. Y'all think, well, I grew up in the projects.
Mm-hmm.
So this all you see, men, women, like when I was growing up, it was community based.
Gotcha.
We were all we were community based. So you got advice from anybody, but the way that men treated me as a little girl, standards, even down to the dope boys. I stayed in the hood. The dope boys, hey, go in the house. You shouldn't be out at this time. I'm going to tell your mom, or I'm not even going to tell your mom. Go your ass in the house type thing. So even them giving me money, hey, here, go get you some ice cream. Why I'm getting money for ice cream? No reason. Just I'm a little girl, right? No reason for this particular treatment other than me being a girl. A lot of us experience this behavior. We were treated a certain way simply because you are a girl. That's where we got these imaginary standards, the ones that people say, oh, their standards are too high. As I became an adult, then men taught me how they would treat a woman in this form, right? I've never asked a man to open the door for me. A man opened the door for me, and I like the treatment. So now that's one of my standards. I like that, right?
That kind of go back to what you said about the dating thing too. Like, I think you learn what you like anyway.
And what
like,
you don't like.
Not necessarily,
Absolutely.
like you said, preferences. You learn your preference,
Right.
So then you could be with 5 men. The first 5 men didn't open the door, regular door for you, right?
Nothing.
The next man do it. I want this next time. So
I
the next
want
man
that.
got to do this now. So now you start to add, like be adding a list. You start to add to your list, and this is what I require. So when people say like, "Oh, she high maintenance," it's like, nah, I just been around.
Right. I've
Just
been
know
around.
what you want.
This-
Yeah.
this
That's
is
also why a
something.
lot of men, like when they date you, they like to, and I don't know if I don't want to go this far into it, but they like to hear like, "Oh, you ain't had no dad in your life," or
Right.
and then sometimes you hear somebody had a dad, like they like, "Oh, nah, that ain't
That ain't for me."
You already know it come with some kind of
Exactly.
disciplinary, not action, but like they're gonna have some kind of standard that you either can't uphold or just don't want to uphold. You probably can't, you just don't want to. You know it's gonna be some kind of hard labor to kind of win this one over. I've had literally conversations with people that like, yeah, like I won't talk to this girl because she got
She's
dad.
got
She's trying to hold me accountable, bro.
Dad, uncle. And
Her
it,
daddy too good, bro.
Listen,
Like you know what I'm saying?
it ain't even just having a dad. The mere fact that I'm the only girl. So
Yeah, too.
I tell people all the time, certain stuff I've never experienced. I've never experienced, and I probably never would experience it simply because of what people perceive. Now I was in foster care. The what you think when you hear that I have 4 brothers, you think that they covered me this entire time and protected me and things of that nature. That's automatically in your head, but in reality, that's so far from the truth. But because of this stigmatism of, oh, she got 4 brothers, this is what you go through. So you back away or you pull away. But yeah, we experience that a lot. But the standards of women comes from men. So when some people say go find yourself and all that other stuff, now some stuff is just far-fetched, but you got to think about it. Everything that a woman requests or wants, somebody did it for. It didn't come out of thin air.
Well, it could also be too, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it also could be something they saw.
It could
I
be.
was going to go
It
into
could
that.
be.
You can witness
It could be.
you can witness real love, true love,
Yes.
healthy love. Let me say
Yes,
healthy
your
love.
mom, dad, grandma, your friend,
Even-
your best friend.
Or
I'm
media.
talking about
Yeah,
I'm talking
media,
about
social media, everything.
even I like even just at a restaurant.
Yes.
Like
yes.
people do that.
When
Like,
somebody proposed.
you see them old couples sometimes. They've been together 50 years. They still
Yes,
going to damn
yes.
Applebee's and getting that chocolate sundae or something. It's like it seems small, but it's like that's what keep them going. You know what I'm saying? So now on your list of standards, consistency.
Right, consistency.
You know what I'm saying? Like I got that on
Exactly.
there. Open the door. No, I want to open the door. You know what I'm saying? Now
Because you've seen somebody do it, so you know,
You
that
know
it's
it can be
possible.
done.
It's possible.
it can be done.
It's possible.
I do think the communication is key though.
But communication is definitely key.
Because just because somebody don't do something, and I'll be on a tangent here, but just because somebody don't do something, don't necessarily mean they're not that. That could be
Right.
something they just not doing, but they also could do a lot of other things that can also put them in that category of being a good man. You know,
Yep.
you know. I know this is me. I can't speak for y'all, but I'll be transparent myself. Like I'm not saying I'm not gonna do it ever. But I don't open the car door like that. Like I'm not crazy about that. I'm not gonna do it every time. I'm consistent.
I feel like stop doing stuff that you're not gonna do all the time.
I'm not gonna do it all the time.
You get what I'm saying?
So,
Like the men that
man,
have done
clap
it
up
for
you,
me,
man. That's what I'm talking about.
like it's like why? Like why?
Consistency,
If you're
man.
not going to do it all
He
the
ain't
time, the
consistent.
whole
Oh.
good morning, beautiful, good. You're not going to do this the whole time of our relationship, so don't
Stop.
do it.
Just don't do it.
You regularly talk and say, "Hey, what's up?" Regular talk and say, hey, what's up?
Yes.
He trying to add something to the Duffy. Yeah, man.
I ain't
What?
gonna
Trying to add something to the bag.
What?
I'm going to drive.
He trying to
You know
switch
what
it
I'm
up.
saying?
No, because then when we start holding you accountable for you changing, again, you
That
change.
change behavior. Yep.
You change. So don't do anything. I tell people all the time.
Be
Love me
yourself.
how I want to love.
Be yourself.
Love me how I want to be loved. Don't, whatever it is that you've done before, if I say, no, you don't got to do that. Like, you don't necessarily have to open the door. But if that's something you was raised behind and that's something that you want to do it. But it's not a requirement of mine.
I want to.
So-
I just want to say one thing now because she mentioned this, like, you know, the consistency part, and I think since we talk about mental health as well, I want to circle back all the time. The consistency part, like, you know, doing something that you know you're not going to continue to keep doing will also ruin somebody's mental health. Like, not saying they're going to be a patient. I'm just saying, like, what they're going to think, mentally, how their mind going to work. Because now you changed, but you didn't change. You really just was yourself. Like,
Right.
why you do that then? Why was you doing this? You wasn't going to do in the beginning.
So now I'm wondering what you did. Like, what did I do to you for you to change behavior?
Exactly. Why you didn't open my car door anymore? Like, was you mad or something? Like, damn, I'm
you
not
used to
pretty
call
no
me every
more.
day. Now you're not calling me every day. Now you're spacing it out. Like, not being consistent
So just be
causes.
yourself.
Now I got to wonder. I got to think about what it is that I've done.
Yep.
But it's also communication too.
Yep.
So communication is a part of just telling.
Yeah.
It's nothing has changed and being completely honest. But if you start off that way, you won't have to worry about that conversation. Just be
Definitely.
who you are.
What you were going to say? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, so I just want to talk about that media standpoint because some people don't have, you know, those people in real life to look at. So they look at media, they looking at TV shows and movies and such like that. And I just wanted to ask something very specific. How did you feel about Tyler Perry, like, movies? Like, not even just as simple as that, but like his media portrayal of Black lives.
That's a good question.
Like, do you feel like that could be detrimental? Like him showing
I want to say something for you.
some of those ways that he or stereotypical, like, or certain ways he portrays Black people, or do you feel like it could be helpful?
I seen the tweet. And I want to answer this question, but I seen the tweet and it said, and it was funny to me. It was like, new Tyler Perry film coming next year, supposed to be starring Taraji P. Henson. Something to do with a Black woman, and being, pretty much Black woman being poor, making it her own. I'm like, well, which one is this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what
That's
people was
fucked up.
sharing. Like, again, you know what I'm saying? Type of time.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see it.
As far as like this, I'm gonna be real. Until I watched that episode, but just maybe last week when we did the episode with the white
Lacey?
guy, the white guy
Oh, Tommy.
Archer.
Yeah, Tommy.
Oh,
Archer.
shout out Tommy, man.
Before, he's the first person that I've ever actually heard say media influenced his way of thinking. And he was talking about a rap song and how he went and did exactly what that rap song said to a judge. I had this long time saying, because I'm not influenced by stuff that goes on in social media.
I get
Like,
it, yeah.
I'm just not ever really taking into consideration that people are very much influenced by social media, by what goes on, all the other stuff. But I never actually heard somebody say it until he said it.
Gotcha.
So in regards to like Tyler Perry and what he did, I think it's, to me, I'm more of a practical person. So I know it doesn't influence me, but I don't think it hurts nor helps the community. I think it's just entertainment. And if people look at it as entertainment, then it will be just that. But most people kind of it's embellished entertainment. Like anything that's out here, it has some form of truth to it. Every one of his plays or movies has a portion of a real life true story attached to it. Somebody can relate. That's why it's so popular. These things actually happen in somebody's household. But they don't want to I guess we want to put into perspective that it's part truth, part a lie. And how do we merge them together and also separate them as well? Because it's just entertainment. Like, it's literally just entertainment. But I don't think I really have a perspective. I don't think he hurts nor helps the community. I think he helps. Well, no, I'll take that back. I think he does help the community because he brought jobs to the community.
Okay.
He did a lot of jobs, He did a lot by relating to the Black community. And I know a lot of people, they try to take it away because there's a lot of singing, but in reality, Black people sing a lot.
Yeah,
That's all we did in church. And they sung a lot of church songs.
Yeah.
Like he remixed some of them, but a lot of gospel was sung and done back in the days. It's just what it is.
I want to say, because she made a great point. It's just art for the most part, right?
Yeah.
But I'm about to go crazy. I don't hate Tyler Perry. I think he did well for himself. He did well for people. Like she said, he created jobs. I think the problem, like when I mentioned that tweet though, I think people always like, oh my God, Taraji, you know what I'm saying? Because she was just crying last year on TV about how it's no roles for Black women.
Mm-hmm.
And the shit that
But
happened to her on Color Purple.
Yeah,
and
but
shit.
she continued to take the same roles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I don't know if what society's assuming, like she should take a stance, but also I don't know her finances. I don't know if she did need a job. I don't know that kind of stuff, right?
That's the
so
difference.
going back to being a Black woman and
That's
the
the
mental
difference.
health is, it's kind of like not being okay with something, but that
have
kind
to
of
be
being the
okay.
way.
Yep.
And you just gotta kind of make it the way until it ain't the way no more.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So yeah, in one breath, I do want to say, that's dumb, don't do it, you know? But at the same time, I don't know her finances. I don't know how much she can pay for this role. Not that the money matters per se, but we know money does matter. Right? You know what I'm saying? Now, in the grand scheme of things, if you're just looking at it from a white point of view, outside the culture,
Yeah.
to touch on what she said, I do think when Tommy's saying it's like he's from a different culture, and we always known that his culture looks at our culture through music and through art.
Mm-hmm.
So I say that in the same breath to also say, when they watching these Tyler Perry films, I could
It is detrimental.
That's yes, but I was going to go deeper,
In that
when I hear black women sometimes, and I don't get mad at it because it's whatever. But you hear Black women sometimes, they feel like the out to their, and you, if I'm wrong, just tell me or cut me off, whatever. But from the out to their struggles or their mistreatment by, I'm gonna say Black men because that's our community, is to go get a white man, right? But you look at Tyler Perry films and it's like it's almost all the time it's a Black man treating a white girl like shit. I mean a Black girl like shit. So,
but it's not just that either, though.
Go ahead,
It's
go ahead.
real life.
no, that's what I'm saying. Art imitates life. I was going to get to
Right.
art imitates
Okay.
life. So he's not pulling from his ass. Like it's not he pulling like, oh, I'm
Right.
just, let's imagine a Black guy treating a Black girl wrong. You don't have to think about it. Go down the block. Go to Pepper Ridge. Go this way. Go that way.
Yeah.
East, left, west. It don't matter. Like you're gonna see it. So you can't really get mad at him for not only imitating life, but it being an actual true. He's not adding no extra spices to it. It's, if anything, it's probably watered down.
Right.
To be honest with you, because he got to put in 90 minutes, but he not doing nothing wrong, But yeah, I don't like that he always does it. I do think he's probably like wise enough to like try from a different perspective, but I also maybe feel like he don't know a different perspective.
But he has. It flopped.
What was it? What was the movie?
I can't remember. It was like a play or something. This was like early on. So in his early stages
okay.
of doing playwriting and things to that nature of him trying to, it's business.
And that could be why
It's-
I
It's
the day-
business at the end of the day. You do what works. It's
Makes sense.
business. We can say what we want to say, but business is business, and that's in every aspect of life.
You're a businesswoman, so and you're a Black woman. So how is that, like, just for mental health wise, or just anything, just health wise, or just your psyche? How is that, knowing that like it's some things that really society just don't want to see
They don't
when it
wanna
comes to
see
a
it.
Black woman? They don't want to
They
see
don't want to see it.
prosperity. They
They
kind of don't want to see
don't.
resilience. They
They
don't want to
don't.
see you talk back. They don't want to see you be smart. They don't want to see you make a good point.
We'll put it like this in social media terms. A lot of people talk about me, quote unquote, bashing Black men, but let me put something that's positive. I took time to write a Father's Day post and put different bullets on it of encouraging messages for fathers. It got little attention, but let me say, men ain't shit.
Oh, it's blowing up. You're making it
Got a
Twitter
point.
with that.
Got a point.
You get what I'm saying? Anything that's posted that's positive, no attention, no traction, no nothing. Overlooked time and time again. I done seen it countless of times. I'll post something, wait about an hour, it's no interaction, and I'll delete it.
I just wanna address that a little bit, only because we all on social media, like, and I don't know if this is just people you were saying it, but sometimes it could also be the algorithm will really
It
play
will.
with you.
Oh, yeah,
It-
especially
it'll-
nowadays.
It'll dim
You know
it
what I'm
down. It will.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to think what you're
will.
talking about. I don't know, but it's
It
like,
will.
but really, that's how, and that's the. But she mentioned earlier, like this talking on a smaller scale in our life. That's our life. Like
It's our
you can
life.
post that positive stuff, and that's for anything though. But it don't go nowhere. Post something negative, a fight. You know what I'm saying about Oak or a rat here or what. It's going up. It's going
going
crazy.
up.
It's going crazy. Somebody getting beat. Somebody getting shot. It's going to go up. But you post something positive, encouraging, and something that's uplifting. That's probably life changing. It ain't going
It
nowhere.
ain't gonna hit. And it could be
You'd
the
be lucky if
algorithm.
it do. You'd be lucky if it do. And if it do, you shocked. Like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's very far and
It's
few between.
very far and few. And just we can name the number of posters that probably done went viral or whatever that has some type of positive content
Yeah.
behind it. We can. Like, it's not many. It's
So
not
it's
many.
funny when you said it because a lot of times we do give her that title like she don't like black men, but really, if she posts positive about black men, will we even see it?
Right.
Mm.
But
Or-
black
or
men
if we-
won't even
or
engage.
if we see it,
They're
will
not
we
going to engage.
Will we like
They're
it?
not going to engage.
You know what I'm saying? Will we share it?
They're gonna be like,
You know what I'm
nah.
Right.
But the
Right.
first
Where's the
time
negativity?
she say something,
Where's the constructive criticism?
yeah, I know, right? But it become a point where sometimes people, that's what all they expect from you too. So when you give them something different, they're like, oh, that seems foreign. I'm good. They don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? They want the negativity sometimes. So why not give it to them? Especially if you're getting paid on social media. It's like, all right, I got something for y'all. I've been in the clip. I got some clips for y'all. So
Yeah.
I do want to talk about this though. You mentioned personal growth and resilience. I know we talked about resilience earlier. I think you spoke about it earlier about your mom when you said that she didn't quit. She went and got her GED. So you didn't quit. You got you know what I'm saying? That's resilience. I mean, somebody, and I think winning in life is all perspective, depending on what you've been through. I know your story, so I know kind of why you stepped out of high school and all that stuff and what you're trying to do. So I always commend you on getting your GED because you don't have to do that either. But that also shows resilience. You know, you talk about resilience a lot. I think I've heard you say that word like 10 times. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now I'm for real. I asked about qualities one time. She said resilience. I was like, okay, let's get to it, baby.
I think people, we talk, but we don't. That's part of communicating, right?
Yeah.
So we can only say things of surface, like I'm a
Definitely.
good person. Resilience it requires an explanation.
Mhm.
It just does. Being a good person don't really requires. It requires an explanation, but everybody good people.
And that perspective as a mother, that's super perspective because you could be a good person to me, and that person think you a piece of shh.
Absolutely.
But I'm a vouch for you though because you ain't done nothing to me.
Absolutely.
But you done stumped that motherfucker 20,000 times.
Right.
So yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, but as far as being just resilient, I think with any and everything, I was a child out of foster care. I'm the only girl. I got 3 kids. I got pregnant when I was 15. I had her when I was 16. I've been taking care of them for all their life for the most part. And not to say, no, I don't have no help because people like to say, oh, I did. I had help. The help that I wanted or needed was their father. That though it steps to parenthood and it don't skip over a parent, especially if the parent is here, right? But I did. I had help. I had godparent. I had my grandfather, grandma. Like I had help, but still, it was my responsibility to make sure my kids were good. All I know is my kids, and I mean, I changed my whole life because of my kids. So I call myself a forced entrepreneur because I was forced to become an entrepreneur because of my kids. Like I needed time with my kids. I felt like if I missed that aspect of their life, that it could be detrimental to them. So not showing up for them, it's something about getting permission anyway to show up at my kids, to go to their graduation, my son got hit by a car in like 2013 and I was at work and my manager was just like, no, you can't go nowhere. What you mean? What are we talking about, sir?
For real,
What are we talking about? I said, you thought I was asking. I'm not asking. I'm just telling you I'm about to go. I just was courteous enough to tell you the reason why I'm not leaving. But yeah, and y'all can keep this job. And it is that, right? But not, it's making that decision based off your kids, but not having no other income. Right? So you lost the job. Now you got to figure it out. Like, that's a whole nother ball game too.
But also now, 3 kids, not saying to have no help, but when you have kids, it's a requirement. It's 2 requirements. It's the mom and the dad. You should be required to be in your kid's life and help. So having only half that requirement is going to hurt. I don't care how much help you got.
Absolutely.
Not only having half the requirement is going to piss you off because now, technically speaking, somebody's somewhere just doing whatever they want to do, and I don't get to do that. Not that I want to. It's just I don't get to do it. So now I'm pissed that for some reason you think you do, but you're not owed this requirement, right? That's one thing. But then also having to make that decision of that career choice, or to go into entrepreneurship. But as hard as it is, without no kids, or just doing it on your own, or doing it even if you got a little money saved up, to have 3 kids that you got to take care of, learn personality wise, be there for 3 kids, and then also try to do something and start this business from the ground up on your own.
Absolutely.
Like, how was that for you? And just
it was a hard transition. I'm a real entrepreneur. I'm not. And I'm not taking away
here
from.
we go. Oh
I'm
my
not
God.
taking away from.
Talk your talk. Talk your talk.
But there's a different level, right? So when I say that I'm forced to be an entrepreneur, that means that this is my only income. And if we want to say it however you want to say it, there is a difference, right? I didn't have like a safety net. I had a faith. That's it. I had no choice but for it to work. But that's the same effort you put in when you go get a job. I was about to put the same groundwork into finding another job, putting in applications. I just was like, let me try something different, right? And it was forced. It was more so like God kind of eased it into, but you had to take off. Like I was at work and I was making clothes already at work. So I was building up a clientele like that, like at work on the clock, doing things. So I'm not going to say it was an easy transition because I didn't make a lot of money off of it, but it was kind of like, this is what you got to do. So, and for 14 years, that is how I've paid bills. This is how I've handled every expense that has came. My kids are not cheap kids. My son, I've spent like maybe $3,000 on just his cleats. And that was probably like his 10th and 11th grade year, because compensating for things that was going wrong in his life, right? To make him feel better and however it may be, to make him happy, right? And all my kids have played sports all their life. This is extracurricular activities outside of just going to school, and that costs. My son has been on a traveling football team since he was like 9, and we talking about travel.
I just want to say this because I always think about the audience when you say something. And if you can't speak on it more, then that's fine. But you just mentioned your son and like just making him feel happy because some things he was going through. Of course, I don't want you to go into detail about things he was going through, but just I want to from a black woman perspective, a black mom perspective, just your life perspective. Like, how was that also on you mentally?
It's a lot.
Because that could be draining.
It's a lot. Okay, so you don't, how can I say it? You get a reality check in so many different ways as a mom. And my reality check kind of came into perspective in like 2020. I didn't know people hate on kids. I just didn't. I didn't know that somebody was sitting around and they was waiting and plotting and planning for my son to fail.
A downfall.
Or in some shape, form, fashion, like he's 13. You get what I'm saying? Like he's 13 years old. What do you mean there's an adult out here that absolutely hates who he is as a person and you don't know him, right? And it's not like, my kids aren't people who, people know them, but they don't know them.
They're popular.
Right? So my son was popular, but it wasn't like he was with everybody. People just know him because he's a good football player. But it takes a toll when you find out, oh my God, like somebody's really out here trying to ruin my kid. And you haven't done anything to whomever for it to happen. And you don't have nobody to turn to. You don't have nobody to talk to. You don't have nobody to kind of coach you through it. My son don't got nobody. Like, it's just us trying to figure out this, whatever is going through.
Can I say something real quick about that too? I mean, that also go back to what I was saying about the whole, which also you can kind of be envious a little bit. I ain't saying you are. I'm just, black women, I'm just talking in general. Now, it might be the right one, but you might be mad of that person not doing their half of the requirement.
Right.
Because you get that half of that requirement. Tomorrow, think about all the help you got, right?
Right.
It don't equal to that half of that requirement.
Right.
Yeah.
That man coming in saying, yo, what you got?
What you got going on? And I do feel like, I did feel like at the time, I posted on Facebook like a message of between me and my kid's father, pretty much on his graduation day, because his father did show up. Now, this is our second child that has graduated. For context, all 3 of my kids belong to one person. But
You handshake on that. I'm not dissing nobody.
but my oldest daughter, when she graduated in 2022, she invited her dad. Everybody has the opportunity to invite their dad. I don't care if he comes, if he don't come. She invited him. Cool. My son didn't invite his dad. He didn't invite him. I made an invitation. I said, invite whoever you want to invite. He chose not to invite his father. If he chooses not to invite you, I don't feel like you should show up. And even if you showed up, because I know a lot of people say he should have showed up in that moment anyway. He should have in the background, like how he been doing. He did not have to show up and make his presence known because it threw off everything that was going on. My son completely, he didn't want to celebrate no more. We didn't do anything for his graduation. We didn't. We didn't go out to eat. We didn't celebrate. He already didn't want like a party and things of that nature, but we didn't do anything. He just went home.
Can I ask you a question? And I want to stand this a little bit. I'm sorry because I'm when you was doing that, I'm on my business because I feel like that's kind of nobody know your story behind that. Somebody can look at it and once again, bitter black woman. No, why she didn't. But I want to break this down a little bit. First, I'm gonna go with him just because it's his day. I just can't imagine that. Can you imagine that, like somebody? I don't know the story. I'm just assuming somebody not being there, like you wanted to be there, or not being there, whatever, right? Your whole life, and then a day of success for you, a day that you done did it without this person, right? I'm gonna show up now. Now, most people gonna say, "Oh, at least my ass."
Mm-hmm.
But
at least when I was 12,
also why
when I was 13,
the message was relevant. The message was sent to him in 2019. It's 2024. Of your son needs you, and then again in 2023. The cusp of his football season, hey, he going through a lot. He needs his father.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in 2021, when are you going to show up as a father? Your kids need you. They're going through a transition. Your daughter is having her first date. Your baby is going into middle school. Your son is going into high school. However it may be, they need their father. That's why the messages were relevant because it happened in 20. I'm not a bitter baby mom. And he even complimented me. He complimented and said, I will never take away from what you've done as their mom.
How did that make you feel? I'm just sorry. I want to know how that make you feel. No way.
I don't need no compliment for me
Shout
doing my
out to you.
part.
Shout out to you.
I don't need nobody to tell me that I'm
I
a
got
good
you.
mom. I know what I'm doing. Like I do this because I want to, not because I have to. So I don't need nobody to pat me on the back and say, oh, you're a good mom. I don't need that. I'm good. So him telling me that's not a word. That for me, that was more for him.
You already knew
Like,
that. You already knew that.
You get what I'm saying? It was
Gotcha.
more for him that, dang, she actually doing this without me type deal. That's all that was.
Yeah.
But the relevance behind it is that you messed up my son's day. And no, you don't get to show up in his time of success, especially if he did not invite you. There's a difference. And I did make a joke. Like I took pictures because of course I'm not that type of parent. Memory is a memory. He showed up, cool, let's take this picture. But it was just ironic that I took the picture.
Listen to this. Go ahead.
I took the picture of him and his dad. So if I wanted to show my camera roll, but y'all, I took 37 pictures prior to him and his dad. Every single one of these pictures from his graduation are clear. I got 12 pictures of his dad and him, 12 of them.
Mm-hmm.
All 12 of these pictures are blurry. You cannot see him and my son in this picture.
So from a surface level, think about how social media is taking. Like, well, how you posting blurry? And she was saying like it wasn't. I didn't try to do that. I
didn't
took
try
12
to do
pictures.
it.
Now you should have took 13, but she said I took 12 pictures, right? Now I'm fucking around. But I did want to say this too because I know I was trying to let you get it off, and so that's one thing for your son. So that you messed my day up, like because I'm not expecting him because you ain't been here. I don't want to celebrate with you because I didn't struggle with you. That's kind of the idea, right?
I get that.
Now from a parent standpoint, which I'm pretty sure that's second to him when it comes to his day. I don't care what kind of what. I don't care. Like I think as a mom, especially when you doing all the things you're doing, all the sacrifices you give up, or sacrifices you take. I ain't saying give up because it's just common nature to do that. When your kids win, you win as well.
Right.
right? Did it affect you at all that he came in? And I don't mean it like saying, I'm not saying that you was feeling the way like, oh, you shouldn't have came, because if there's someone to come, that's fine. But did it make you feel away because y'all both are celebrating something that only one of y'all struggle with?
No, I just feel like he should have did it a different way. I feel like he should absolutely have showed up. I just feel like he should have showed up to watch it, for that, and then devise some type of plan of how he was going to enter into his son's life. Right? Because he didn't invite you. And that was something totally different, because it showed your oldest invited you, but your son didn't. So that hit him way differently than my daughter.
Did he come to the oldest? Okay. Did the son did he talk to the son that day? Or?
Like we have a whole picture, a family picture of all of us
that one
together.
blurry or no?
But
Okay. Camera working that day.
Camera was working perfectly fine on all signals, but he was also invited to it.
Yeah.
He was invited, and so was your girlfriend.
But I have to ask a question because it's important, and that's what I do, kind of like. But from there, the day I took the good picture when it wasn't blurry and stuff like that, like at your oldest daughter's graduation, did he then try to create a relationship?
No, that's what I'm saying. So my daughter graduated in 2022.
That's all needed. That's all needed to know.
The messages that I post, one was 2020, 2019, 2020, 2022. In 2023. 2023 is, he graduated this year, 2024. 2023 is when he's coming off of the situation that happened with football.
Yeah, the sports situation, yeah.
And we're finally clear. Like it's a relief.
A lot.
It's a relief. It was a lot that was going on. But it's a relief now. So we cleared, and it's just show up at this point. It's more so like we done got through the hardest part with that. Like, just show up. He just need a male to relate to. Mm-hmm. My kids aren't around a whole bunch of people. Like, they just aren't. So, and you don't want your kids around people who are not necessarily the best influence for them or have the
model
best
citizens.
You get what I'm saying? Have the best for them. So I do reaching out to him in 2023 and saying, hey, sending him a picture, and it's on my son's 17th birthday. So on his 17th birthday, I reach out to you, which is November the 21st, 2023. Hey, send him a picture of him. Hey, he transitioning. He really needs his father, like he does. At that time, he was going through his own life experience, and he needed a male role model. You still didn't show up. That was just last year. And no excuse. It's no excuse. My kids have had a cell phone since they was like 6. You never got to talk to me because I don't care. As long as whatever y'all communicate, I'm with whatever y'all with. The kids want to come, let them come. You can call me at 2:00 in the morning. Hey, I'm coming to pick them up. Come pick them up. I'm not stopping any relationship that you want to build, and I'm not telling you how to be a father. Just show up and be a father. Because I don't know. I didn't know how to be a mom. I just showed up and started being one. Just show up and start being a father. That's all it's going to take. Just show up. I don't care what time it is, what day. If you wake up one day and say, hey, I think this is the day, do it. However it may be. That's your right. For your kids. I won't take it from you. But yeah, I think him showing up didn't do anything to me. Is watching my kid face. Yeah.
Right? Seeing the unhappiness of a day he should be happy.
It's again another hit towards me, like, dang, I can't save him. Right? And once again, we're in a whole nother situation where I can't save him from this emotion, which I should be able to save it from, because we kind of prevented it, right? You wasn't invited. Simple. We cool. As a mom, especially with my son. My son is pretty much the only one that has been through like public situations.
Yeah, scrutiny.
Yeah. And not because he does anything, simply because his mom. Like, literally. I think a lot of stuff is just because I'm a vocal Black woman. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. But can I interject with just what you said? Like, I remember watching, I don't know if you watched this documentary. You watched it, Quiet on the Set?
Yes.
Is that Nickelodeon?
Nickelodeon?
Yes.
You seen when the dude from Hardball, I can't think of his name, but he had a Black mom.
That was on
like,
all that?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
And she was like, she was vocal. She was Black. You know what I'm saying? Hey, now you know what happened there. So she's like, hey, I'm asking questions. I'm being a mother.
Mm-hmm.
Well, once again, like we said, people don't like that when it comes
They
to black
don't
women
like
for
it.
one, or
They
women in
don't.
general.
They don't.
And I wonder the struggles, because just what you just said, that he was placed under scrutiny, not because of anything he did,
Right.
but because you
Because of me.
being vocal, caring about him, being a loving parent, like you should be. But because you're a black mom looking parent, it's taken out of
Too loud.
too loud.
I'm too loud. Too loud.
I want you to speak on that. I know you will, but just kind of tell us how that made you feel, for one, just you, but then also how it made you feel in relation to your son. And did he ever give you any resentment of maybe you should just be quiet? Because he's young too. You know, did he feel like, Ma, just chill? Because as kids, you know, we like, we don't know no better. You know, we like, yo, can you just chill?
Right.
But we don't know that really it's for our better. You know, we don't know for the better until better comes.
Right. No. My kids aren't vocal. So there's one thing that I've always taught my kids. I handle adult situations and they handle kid situations. So anytime they have anything to deal with in regards to adult, the person that handles it is me. So therefore, in that realm, my son dealt with a lot of adults, not so more kids, whether it's men or women. He dealt with more adult males than he did with kids. So in our house, if I'm the person that handles adults and not kids, then I'm always going to be the person that handles any situation. So my son he's never told me like, Mom, just chill. My kids are not social media kids. They don't know what goes on in social media. The whole building my son social media platform was a me thing, because we in 2020, whatever. Yeah. And he needs to know. People need to know who he is by social media, because that's how the world has evolved to. So neither one of my kids, none of my kids are social media. They have social media pages, but they do not engage like I engage. They watch. They're the social media people that watch. That's it. So going through it, being a vocal black woman has pretty I never felt the way about it, because I knew it was something that I always had to do, because who else is going to stand up for my kids? Like, if I don't do it, who's going to do it? Like, and I can't trust that somebody else is going to do it, because I've seen plenty of times where that has not happened. Like, people can say whatever they want to say, but it's the better good for themselves, not necessarily the best interest of me and mine. So if I want the best interest for mine, I need to speak up. So
where do you pull from to be okay with even being categorized as that too loud, too vocal black woman?
Oh, because when I wasn't, I still got the same treatment. Yeah. If you quiet, you get the treatment. If you loud, you get the same treatment. When I was in foster care, I wasn't vocal. I was extremely quiet. I just observed a lot of things. As I transitioned, as I had kids, then I learned that I needed to probably speak up and be the voice for my kids and stuff like that. But there's no difference. If I'm quiet, I get the same treatment. If I'm loud, I get the same treatment. There's no difference. So why not? It just so happened that I learned that when I open my mouth, that I need to be 100% accurate, so that nobody could come and try to, how can I say it?
Well,
belittle me.
No, but men would do this though, because she I don't want you to say, because if you say it's, you're gonna be bashing men, but not even men, just people. I'm gonna say people, because this is a people thing. I've seen women do it too. If you come with a lot of information, or if not a lot, I'm gonna say, if you come with something and it's like to push an idea or to push an agenda, something like that, they're gonna poke any hole they see in what you're saying. So you gotta make sure that should be airtight. Because you could say 10 things that's great. That one thing you say, like, so you mean to tell me, like,
yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
Like all that, that's
fuck that one thing. Fuck that one thing.
Right.
You know? Because now they missing the message, because they want the first thing you say that's a little bit off or wrong. You mess the word up. You say the wrong word. They on your ass. It's damn what you say at this point. It's like, we gonna poke holes in what you're saying. Then we gonna throw you up, because now, technically speaking, you know you're right. But they poking holes and you don't know how to respond to that. So you respond emotionally, and then you start to lose that argument.
Yep.
So I definitely, and I've seen her do. I've seen it even progression at this time, like years ago, argument or debating rather. I don't say arguing, debating, and then seeing you debate today is like it's two different people at this point. Like when she when she write her stuff down, it's pretty airtight. Like unless you just like really gonna like fine tooth comb, like you spelled this word wrong or something like that. That's about it. But,
Right,
other than
but
that,
that's what they
comma's
come.
supposed to
That's
go
what they
there.
come with now.
Yeah.
is, so well, you know you spelled that wrong. Oh,
okay, but
All
Grammar
right.
police.
you know what I meant.
You got
nigga.
the point,
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got the point. But yeah, I don't. What I take from it is pretty much nothing. Just stand up for your kids. Like you don't see a lot of women standing up for their kids, though. You just don't like,
And I don't know.
and not in
No, go
not
ahead.
in that way. Like you see them arguing, they'll argue, yell, scream, fight, even. Right.
Not
I'm
standing
never
up
gonna
for 'em.
fight. I'm never gonna argue, and if I got to argue, it's gonna be sound. But the argument coming behind something extremely major, and it's gonna be beneficial to me. Simple. But a lot of women don't fight this way because they don't know how to communicate.
I got you.
And communicating off of emotions. I'm not communicating off emotions.
I think some of that, one of the things I hate is, and even in podcast, I had to learn how to do this myself. And I know you mentioned, and I don't know if I'm going to say it, I'm just going to say, but you mentioned possibly starting your own podcast and stuff as well. And I think one of the things I hate is when people are like, I just feel like that's not really a take. That's not really, that's you telling your feelings. It's not therapy per se. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to learn vocabulary, this is all in fear of communicating, learn a new vocabulary, because some of the phrases we say don't mean what we think they mean.
Right.
We be saying stuff that
part.
do not mean
It does
what
not
you
mean
think it
it.
mean. And that's just my thing. But I wanted to touch a little more on, because I know we got a little time. But you did mention earlier losing your identity sometimes, and you made your point on that aspect. But I want to kind of break down, a single black mom of three. Not just you and Jay, but I know you're going to talk about you, but a single black mom of three. A single black mom in society. A single black mom that's an entrepreneur. A single black mom that's vocal. A single black mom that's, but it's always mom, right? So you had to be mom to your oldest, mom to your middle, mom to your youngest, right? And then whoever else you had to kind of help parent, because they got friends. They got, and you're community driven, because that's what you grew up on. So it'd be a thing where some of your friends, you're also quote unquote mom to them. So you known as mom. So at what point do you get back to Q?
No.
Not Q to mom. Not
No.
now.
No. Right. So after my mom duties have been, some people can't juggle all at once, right? I haven't had time, right? Because I was too busy building the identity of my kids. It's a lot. Trying to build the identity of myself, building the identity of my kids, like that's a lot. That's a lot. So I just chose one route. I chose the identity of my kids. So now that I'm here, they're raised. Yes, I still have to be a part of their life, but not so much involved. Now it's more so them taking what they've learned and applying it to life, right? And I'm gonna have to let them fall and get back up and stuff to the nature, but I'm not so much worried because I know what I instilled in them. Like the phone call from my son today, kind of, mom, go save him type situation. Right, he a black boy. I'm always on. I don't think my girls understand it until they have a boy, but I'm always on edge when it comes to him. When he calls me, to me it means go save him. But if he had his father, that wouldn't been so much, because fathers don't say go save him. They let him figure it out. Like, just let him he gonna figure it out. He gonna figure it out. So that's another thing with the identity too, trying to play both.
I don't
want to be a man, but trying to play both roles.
But you shouldn't have to.
I'm gonna be the mom, and the mom is gonna be like, but
trying to get that tough love when you also when the mom has super tough,
But
you can't say figure it out.
You can't figure it out,
and then you on the phone like, I want to go see my baby. Okay, I'm coming. Just give me 3 hours.
Right.
So yeah.
So my message to him was a mixture of both. It was a mixture of firm, but I still got you. Right? No, you can't come home. You need to figure it out. This is part of life lesson. This is a part of your phase of your life. It's hard. It was hard. It was hard to send that message of This just a phase of your life that you're gonna have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
It may not look right. It may not feel right to you because this whole just was, Mom, this ain't for me. Right? It's not for me because you're not the star player. That's it. So you got to work a little harder. It doesn't come easy or natural like everything else has all throughout your life. And to me, as mom, it's like, James, just go save him. Like you had already said, he was ready anyway.
I think there's something to be said though, because we mentioned it earlier about balancing multiple roles.
Yep.
But she just mentioned imbalance. We don't talk about when them two roles are the mother and the father, and how big of an imbalance that is, like a seesaw.
It is.
That the reason why it's supposed to work is because you're getting two different
energies.
Energies, yeah.
Having to put that in one person is.
It's a lot.
That'll weigh on your body.
It did.
Because now you got
Trying to
these feelings going
overcompensate.
away.
It did.
Yeah.
You don't know if
It
you're doing the
did.
right thing. Now you lose confidence in like, damn, is my son mad at me? You know, like, because you're a mother by nature. That's what you are. You know, you have to take that father role by default,
Right.
because it's a void there, and that sucks. Yeah, that sucks.
Right. And like how you said about your mom, you said your mom never cried. You never seen her cry.
I've never seen her cry.
You never seen her
Exactly.
cry. But I cried. I did. I cried. And it wasn't like, oh, boo-hoo cry, but it's like, dang, did I make the right decision?
But that speaks to, I want to make sure I say that, because that definitely speaks to, like, and even what I felt, the black woman, because I never seen her cry. And I don't know, I admire her for that, because it makes me feel like she was strong. And maybe she was too strong, I don't know. But it's something about, and I don't know if black women talk about it a lot, but like the how hard it is to not cry in front of your kids.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't really realize, like, it's that little stuff, like you be in your bed and your kid say that one phrase, like, damn, like that was the one thing that I didn't need to hear. You know what I'm saying? In order to like hold myself together. You're gonna take a shower, you might go cry in the shower or something like that. But it's something to say about, resilience. That resilience part was like, I'm gonna go fix it and they ain't gonna know nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what that father is supposed to do anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I just seen something today was like, nothing to say about. I guess it was something like people saying how sometimes dads be broke, but da 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 da. And I think somebody shared that got a good dad and was like, yeah, my dad might have been broke, we just didn't know about it. And I thought that was dope, because that's usually how that part of that goes. Like, you might be struggling, but I'm gonna make sure we don't know about it. I'm gonna cover that. And that's part of that man we talking about. But people think a man is just, you got nice clothes, you got Jordans, you in a club, or whatever the case may be. You got a nice car. It's more to it than that. It's, can you balance this? Can you hold this family not only on your back, because you got the women for that. Women help you as well. That took a big sigh of relief. But a lot of times when that man is gone, women can do that on their own. So just imagine how they can be when that man is there, being a real man.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? They already got through. Like, they good. You know what I'm saying? It worked out for them. But imagine having that other requirement that should have been there, and then meet the requirements. Like the son don't have to be calling, all the time. You don't feel like it's all on you all the time. You know what I'm saying? But by default, you will do it anyway.
Right.
But you just shouldn't have to. That's not the way society's worked out to do. And then, like, so even though I know we all can say, this person's man bashing, da da da. But sometimes it's needed, because as a man, you scrolling your timeline, you seeing that, you would think with all that quote unquote bashing that going on, that somebody be like, well, I don't make sure I don't fit this category.
Yeah.
Man, you'd be amazed at how many niggas see that and would say, you man bashing, but nigga, it's you.
Right.
This is you, motherfucker. I'm not man bashing. I'm talking about you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not even a man.
Right.
But, it's just something to be said about that. But when you said the whole thing about, the emotional part, I think that because y'all don't show it often, and then it's hard. It's not hard, but I'm not saying, I'm changing my words right. It's not like you have to get on social media and be like, hey guys, I cried today because this happened, right? They don't see that part. They just see, man, she bashing, but you don't know what I'm going to do. You don't know what I'm seeing. You know what kind of conversation I'm having with other women.
Right.
That's not with the man I'm with, or not with the man I was with. So now I'm thinking, well, this man, all right, 10 men. Common denominator is men.
That's a lot.
So I can understand.
That's a
And,
lot.
and the same thing with guys and women. But some guys, and it happens, but I think that it's different perspective on different things, definitely. But I'm always going to side with women just because I grew up with a strong black woman. You know what I'm saying? So I know more that I don't know.
But most
I don't know a single dad.
men did. Most men grew up with a strong woman,
I
their
wonder.
mom.
I wonder if that's why people like, and I don't. It's not going. I don't want to go on a tangent with it, but like Boys in the Hood. I think it was such a good movie too because you don't really see that often.
Okay.
That aspect of like a boy going to live with the father and
yes,
So I
his
done
life
taught you.
turning
I done told you.
around.
Yeah.
but then seeing that structure, but then also we got it. Like so we always talk about Tyler Perry and our imitating life, but we got the secret right
We
there.
got it.
We already got it.
We
We just
got
chose
it.
not to see that. You know what I'm saying? We rather see Men of Society or something else, Paid in Full, whatever, where the father's not in the movies at all. You know what I'm saying? But you got a movie where it's like, hey, these kids didn't have a dad. They didn't have that support, that other requirement. These kids didn't have. He had it. They all had the same life chances. He made it out. What's the time denominator?
Having his dad.
Had a dad, had structure,
That's right.
had a mom that was that took her ego aside. Cause the mom don't.
No.
You think she want to give her? You think she would
said-
want to give her son?
She said, "Bring him
No,
back."
most
She said,
definitely,
"Bring him
yeah.
You know what I'm
back."
saying? But you
And
gotta
even-
put that ego aside.
You got to. When I reached out to my kid's father, no, but he needs to come stay with you. He does. He needs to come stay with you.
I'm
My son did not want that,
I'm glad
though.
that was full circle though, because I think I want to bash Tyler Perry, but I also just wanted to put that out there because art does imitate life, and we got a classic art piece where it says, "Hey, look, if you do this,
Shout out to John Singleton.
Right.
this can rest in peace. This can happen," and it's true. We see it all the time. A lot of times you can tell. Just like you say, you can tell when a girl or woman has a dad in life, you could tell by their standards. A lot of times you could tell about a man and how he is.
How he
If
carry
it's
himself.
that-
Yes.
some type of male figure, period.
Mhm.
Like dad.
I'm gonna use you, and the
What's
reason
up?
why I say that because I always tell people, anybody I talk to, I say, look, if I was dealing with somebody, and I was going to like do something around them or do something to them, like maybe cheat or step out, I wouldn't tell this person. This not the guy to tell. Not that he gonna tell me, not that. This nigga, he gonna be quiet. He ain't gonna be like, yo, yeah, that's what. Some people like they egg you on to put you down the wrong path because they single, nobody's single. They don't care about your girl.
Mhm.
This is a person that I always say like he truly and genuinely does care about people, not just women but people. And so like he ain't the person that you're gonna tell you just some wild messed up stuff to and ain't gonna be okay with it. And I always respected that from him. Like I seen that early on. And I didn't know his story until later on, but even knowing his story and realizing how much of a part his dad played in his life, I always grew to like that as well. So I always feel like you're gonna get as far as people around you for no reason.
That's right.
So, yes, he's young. Yeah, he's younger right now, and in life he might not have found like everything he want to do. But as far as his morals, principles, and values, them shit's been intact since the minute I met him.
They solid. That's
The
good.
minute I met
they
him.
solid.
You know what I'm saying?
Solid.
So I always respected that about him, and that's why I'm cool with being around something like this. It's easy for me to be around for 4 or 5 hours at a time because I know I'm good. I ain't gonna get in no trouble.
Right.
I ain't nothing supposed to be doing because he can't be around. if I'm
Right.
doing it. You know what I'm saying? But you got some friends that like. If you're around them, that's the negative energy. That's what anybody, women, whatever. You know what friends you can hang around with, like, this might be negative festivities or vice versa. But this is a person I know, like, we good.
Right.
Now, he loves nature, so he might do a little, nature things. But other than that, that's it, And
But
I'm cool with
there is
that.
a different perspective from it too. Is accepting when you have to accept it. So accept life for what it is. So me teaching my kids to accept that they dad was probably put on this earth to do exactly what he did, which
damn.
was to bring them into the world.
That's
And
personal
that's
growth.
all.
That's personal
You get
growth,
what I'm
though.
saying? And to teach them that, because I never want my kids, I always tell my kids, just because you didn't have your actual biological father, you had plenty of role models, plenty of male influence. It's the desire of wanting your father.
Yeah.
Right. But if you believe in God, if you believe in a higher power, you believe that everything happens for a reason. And similar to life, this is how life happens. My son going to college was everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
I told my son he wasn't going to college. You wasn't going. You're not ready. You're not mature enough. You're not going. And then out of the blue, here's the opportunity. It's life. So I never want my son to go out and crash out simply and use the excuse of, oh, well, my dad wasn't in my life. That's why I'm acting this way. Or I ain't have this and that's why I wasn't acting like that. No, that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse because everything happens for a reason. If he was, let's just say he was in your life, it may have done more
Detriment.
hurt
Yeah.
to you than helping you.
That's why I feel like these
That's
conversations are so important because
Right.
we get to share the different perspectives because you may not be able to see or understand that that person and how they grew up or whatever until you actually talk about it.
Yeah. For real. Cause even up until she spoke on like the graduation thing,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, like we it's a community of people that everybody kind of talk, you know what I'm saying? So you'll get stuff here and there. And I remember somebody saying like, why she? And I was like, I don't know, you know, I don't tell people business. I don't know. And I didn't know her business, so I ain't nothing to say. I was working anyway. I didn't have time for that shit. To be honest with you. I was pissed that day.
For sure.
But I think about it, it's like, you know, you kind of mind your business, but her talking about it right now, it made me understand everything I remember seeing that day. But when somebody on a rant, especially when it comes like the family stuff and like that,
Yeah.
I know I troll a lot, but I usually tend to, I don't troll with family stuff. Cause if I ever get into a point where I'm using social media as my outlet rather than crashing out or doing something I don't want anybody in my business.
Oh yeah,
I'm not
sure.
joking right now. I'm not playing today.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
this is for real. Don't ask me shit about. It's not your business, nigga. I'm just watch the show.
Just watch the show.
and leave me
just
alone.
watch the show.
I might delete it later. I don't know. That ain't your business. You know.
Right.
So I always, but to hear it, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense now. Not that it didn't make sense then. It put me in a different perspective now of the person but once again, once you get this. She's a black woman. Once you get a label, it's hard to give her that label. Even if the label was like you 16 and they say you a hoe, whatever, right?
Right.
You 26, they still gonna say you a hoe.
Yep.
You could have the same baby daddy.
Superhead is still
everything.
known as Superhead.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's
She a Christian and all.
never gonna change. They say it's still good. No. Let me stop.
She still got that title. So yeah,
Hell no.
I mean that's absolutely right. Like it's just that's life though. That's just life.
But
that's
the reason like we even like to do this, like, and I knew this was gonna be one of the ones like doing that because one, I know how passionate she is when it comes to this stuff, but I also know that she kind of honed her skills like just not because it's not a debate. We didn't come here to debate. We can't just speak. But I also know that like everything we wanted to speak about when it came to black women, I knew this would be the perfect one to do that because of her outlook on things. Even her saying like, you know, just because you didn't have a dad don't mean that, you know, you can use the excuse that don't mean, because sometimes that might be the thing. You had your dad, right? So it might work out for you that way, rather than you not having a dad, but your mom getting a stipend every month, and I got what you wanted. You're not living in a hotel, not putting your business out there. Just
but it's already out there.
You know,
Man. we good, bro.
But, you know, not doing that things, but it worked out for you because it made you who you is today, who you are today.
Exactly.
And I say the same thing with me. Like for a long time I was mad. I'm not gonna lie, not at him, but just at the situation. Like it just went from this to nothing, you know. But I also feel like I had to learn a lot in that time because you have no choice. But I also feel like if I didn't, you know, I couldn't have my mom. I couldn't have my brother. My brother wouldn't be who he was. So she, that's like your son and him being the star he is and that football player. My brother don't get that if I don't just sacrifice and do the things I had to do. I just was pissed I had to do it. That's about it. But not him, just pissed at life. But in real time, if I had a mom or, you know, not a mom, a dad at the time to say, hey, look, you don't see it now, but you're going to see it later. You know what I'm saying? That would have kind of settled me, and I could have probably enjoyed our time a little more rather than me sometimes feeling like just want to ask, why you wasn't here, bro? Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I think that that perspective is needed when you're younger. You still not going to understand it. But I do know my dad also said a lot of things I didn't understand when I was younger, that when I got 16, 17, he wasn't there. But I used that as a way to navigate through life. So I never could really diss him or like feel like he wasn't there because he said things that I didn't get at 12 or 13, 11 years old, but I understood it at 16, 17, 18. So it still helps. And I think that even the small stuff, like, so whereas she was saying some things about, you know, what her kids had went through, I do feel like one of the things that, I don't want to say it's bare minimum stuff, but sometimes people don't realize, she said her kids got phones, right? Okay, say you're not physically there. Give them that call, right? You don't know what that conversation is going to do for them. That might be the thing that made them say tomorrow, you know, I'm taking my act together because, but people don't realize how much like just hearing that voice or that person to give you some advice is going to mean to you. You could not have been there, but for some reason, these kids were like, I'm one of them, you know, you yearn for that something from your dad.
Yep.
I don't know what it is, if it's TV or if it's just in your, so the minute you get that conversation, damn, the last 7 years he wasn't there. He called me last night.
Right.
And I don't know if that hurt as a parent, like, you know, like imagine you there every day, you know what I'm saying? But they get hyped because they got a call yesterday. But as a mom and as a true parent, you know, you like, well, good.
Right.
I'm happy, finally.
Right.
But those calls help, you know what I'm saying? So I think
definitely.
you got to look at life a certain way. But the perspective, I think that was dope with, and not most, but some moms won't even do that because some moms might be better. I don't know. They won't do that. But even her saying, like, don't look at it that way. Look at it as a plus. Look what you gained from that. Because you could have not gained at all. It could have been to a detriment. You know, it could have been this person didn't grow. Now you didn't grow. You know what I'm saying? This person was around, just taught you the wrong way, but because you look up to that person, you're gonna go the wrong way as well. So sometimes absence is beauty in absence. Sometimes it sounds so bad to say, but that's just the reality of life.
I get that.
I think men should start taking a little bit of just accountability. Like just
100%.
just if you got to pick up the phone and call, pick up the phone and call them. Like, nope, I don't think the kids really care. If it's 20 years, I don't think they necessarily care as long as you attempt, as opposed to running away and not dealing with it head on, because it's a situation that's going to make you uncomfortable for the most
That's
part.
why I didn't cut you off when she said that earlier in the beginning when she was saying Runaway Park. I felt it anyway, because even, and I'm not saying if you run away, you're not a man, but that's just not a manly trait. And you know sometimes because you get upset when you run away. You'll get upset. You ghost because you upset. You know what I'm saying? But you'll know if you're really a man, you'll know in your heart of hearts that was the wrong thing to do. Like, let me go ahead and address this and fix this, whatever. That's what men do. But I definitely feel like, earlier when you were saying, damn, I'm losing. Okay, you were saying something about, running away, whatever. I think sometimes it's okay to come back and be like, look, I shouldn't have did this, I shouldn't have did that. Put your ego to the side and go ahead and make that call. Go ahead and have that uncomfortable conversation, even with your kids or with your kids' parent, with the other parent, to kind of create some kind of
something
new village or a new system or whatever it can be. Because even that, you don't know how much that might take the stress off that woman, the stress off that person, because women don't want to do it alone, bro.
I tell people this.
I don't care how good y'all look doing it. I don't care how good y'all look doing it.
There is not a woman out here. There is a YouTube lady or TikTok or whoever. She absolutely set herself up to be a single mom. Most women that were in a relationship, like she went and got the whole cycle, the IV, whatever, and she got pregnant to be a single mom. That's what she wanted to do. That was one out of a lot of people.
All right.
Right.
I know, right?
Most women,
no judgment here, though.
Most women did not sign up to be a single mom, but also we didn't sign up for what comes with being a parent either. Even on the man's side, him being shocked about being a father and running away or having. We didn't know that. We didn't know how he was going to deal with kids. We don't know certain stuff until it happens. Now you're in this situation, and just so happen, if we feel like if we got to deal with it, why shouldn't you? We should all be accountable, but why shouldn't you? And then I really feel like men should stop feeling like kids should call them.
I don't believe in that.
You get what I'm saying?
I don't believe in that ever. I never believe in that.
In the
Never.
absence of you, I should call and check on you.
That's what you said earlier about men running away. Why I hit so hard a little bit, because I think that also in that same category, because that's you run away from what you should really be doing by saying you didn't do this. He got a phone. He don't come. The motherfucker's 9.
Trying to place the blame on somebody else.
9 years old. Bro.
9
Let's
years
be real.
old. Like, come on.
I don't care if you pay the phone bill. I got 2 daughters, and I pay both of their phone bill. I got one of them on my account, and I pay one of their phone. I will say, I will ask them why they didn't call me, but honestly, if they don't call, I'm going to call them. I'm asking to be funny, but I'm curating that communication line. But they ain't got to call me. I'm going to call them every day. I don't care, because I'm the adult.
Right.
I'm the one got the wherewithal to say, hey, I miss you. Your kids can miss you and not call you. You a mom, you know that. They can miss you and just, you ain't call me all weekend. You know what's going on?
Yeah,
That mean they ain't thought about you. They're having fun. That's what kids do. But to make a kid feel bad in that sense is crazy to me. And then to put that heavy load on a kid, it also speaks to the lack of being a man, because why would you put that load on a kid? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just wouldn't put that load on.
Putting the ball in that court and shit.
Wouldn't do that. No, I'm making a room and everything. It's all
But
me.
all that takes time too. Like,
Definitely.
calling someone to checking up on them, that's something that adults don't do to this day.
At all.
You get what I'm saying? Even with my son being in college, my daughter being in college, they not going to call me. I'm going to call them.
So they need something. You know,
Right. They definitely going to call me. They need something, but just like a everyday thing. I don't got nothing to talk about every day. I don't got nothing to talk about every day. But I'm going to call. I'm going to call you. I'm going to call, but I'm the mom. But as they grow and mature in life, it naturally comes apart, because now they see why it's so important for them to check in.
Yeah.
But they ain't went through nothing to see why it's important for them to check in. They haven't experienced life enough to see. They always had a covering or a shelter or something to, it was smooth for them. So they don't understand it. We understand it because we know the importance of checking in or just being there or just somebody hearing your voice. We know the importance of it because either we yearned it or we just know it's needed sometimes because we want it.
Yeah.
As they grow and become their own person, they'll learn it and they'll do it naturally on their own. But to expect a kid to call you simply because you're their dad, that's crazy.
But that kind of speaks to just the lack of, I'm gonna say just manliness that they do possess, or lack of leadership they do possess. Because the leader ain't gonna say you should have called. They're gonna check on it. You know what I'm saying? When I'm at work, I can't say, let me know you done this. I can say that, but I still gotta come and verify. I'm a leader. I have to. It's on me. They're gonna ask me why it's not done.
Right.
They're gonna ask the why you wasn't there. They're gonna ask the kid, hey, why you didn't call your dad? They're not gonna ask the kid that. They're never gonna ask the kid that. They're gonna ask why you wasn't in life.
Right.
So it's always on the leader if you supposed to lead. But yeah, I thought it was dope. One of the double things I thought you said too is I didn't really clip it up like I wanted to the Tommy Archer interview, but I did. That was like some idea on the fly, and it wasn't supposed to be like that way.
Really?
I didn't have no questions. I had to just can't say just come record because he started podcasting. I'm like, well, I'll teach you some things. Let's go ahead and do it.
Palette
That
Podcast.
shit ended up being like
It
really,
was
really good. Like,
it was a good
I ain't gonna lie, the
one.
first
It was a good
15 minutes, I was
episode.
like, oh shit, it might be good for real.
Yeah.
I did over there just trying to do something. I was just doing something, whatever. And yeah, that was dope. Like,
And that
he
was
did a good
needed
job.
too. That was needed. That perspective from him, his culture, what he learned, what he experienced. Because we look at the white race and we be like, oh, they got their dad,
Yeah.
they mom, they always show up and stuff like that. But behind the scenes,
You
it'd be
don't
a
know.
nightmare. You get what I'm saying? But they still, one thing they do hone is that they be together. Good, bad, the ugly, in between. You're going to see the mother and the father.
So that was dope too in perspective of how he went to the juvie pretty much since he was 11. That's insane, but whatever. But then at one point the mom was like, yo, you got to take him, and dad
Yeah.
took him.
Yep.
We only get that. Damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you got to take him. Oh, chill, bro. Like, nah, bro, I ain't doing that. And that's the community we in. So I mean, that's what it is. I definitely, I think this was dope. This was a dope.
It
conversation.
definitely was dope.
I liked it. You gonna be good at podcasts. I think because you know what to say. You know what you're doing. You got a lot of conviction. Not that it's false. It's just you really feel strongly about the stuff you talk about. So I think that you'll be all right doing it though. I always try to. It was kind of kill two birds with one stone. I know you mentioned wanting to trying to. But you did everything. Everything you said you did. You need help with. You did. Like to me, you did today. Like everything you claim you need help with. I think you were just saying that to me.
Yeah,
You made me
she
feel
did.
good.
I
man.
don't.
But nah,
though.
when she
I
started-
really
when we started
don't.
off, I was like,
Hey,
okay.
I was like, hey, turn the mic off. Man. I just turned my mic down. I said, be good, bro. I ain't got to. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sit back.
That's all I was just saying.
I
Just
start
listening.
making
Like, all
smiley
right.
faces on here and stuff. I started drawing. You know,
I was watching her first episode just now.
Shout out to you, man. You did a good job for real, though. I did think you did a good job for real.
Thank
See,
you,
she think
sir.
I'm lying. Oh my god, I can't.
No,
It's
for
not-
My man, Moss still going on the camera every time. I said, don't go on the camera. He's still. Like, yo, nigga, crazy. All right, Juan got the Mets jersey. I'm a big Mets fan too, by the way. I don't know if you know. I'm a Mets fan, not a Yankees fan, but
Did not know that.
yeah, I'm a big Mets fan. Shout out to Juanito. You did a great job today too, as always. But shout out to Q, man, came through. You know what I'm saying? The future podcast of the year, Q. I already know
No,
it. I
not the
already
future
know it.
podcaster.
I already know it.
Lord.
I'm gonna give you my take my word out the way. Just take my word now. You know?
I got to watch some more of your episodes. I got to get some more notes and stuff.
I really try to, but when it comes to this, I take it serious. I really try to make sure that it's different from even just the local level. It's different from all the ones locally because I don't want to do clip-based stuff. I don't care to talk about man versus women 24/7.
Right.
I'll joke here and there 'cause I'm a joking person. I like to do that, but I do want people to learn from this and like look at this and learn. So even if you don't know a black woman that's going through certain things, I feel like if you watch the episode, you're gonna know because you was speaking, and the best thing that happened from this was you were speaking from personal accounts. You clearly said, "Look, I ain't gonna talk about nobody else's experiences. I'm gonna talk about my own." And so it's real. It's not like we was estimating and saying, "Well, 9 out of 10, 7 out of 12." No, we wasn't saying none of that fake
Right.
statistics.
Statistics that
This
may
is
be
Q's
seen.
story.
Yes.
She's a black woman,
Yes.
you know, and
Yes.
you spoke
What I
everything.
see. This is
Losing
what we
identity.
see, what we experience from a day-to-day life. This is what we experience. Y'all done seen it. All the men
Definitely.
see it. Y'all, we go to people's schools, we see it. We experience it firsthand. How many fathers do you see versus how many moms? And you can claim that they at work all you want to, but when you're not at work, when we have the football games, how y'all see more in it. It used to not be like that, like for real, for real. You still, even at the football games on Friday night, and men love football, you still see more women than men. The football team is composed of nothing but males. You should see 53 fathers, just like it's 53 players. You may see 2.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's bad. And that's not just at the school that my son attended. It's a lot of Richmond County schools.
Being a dad, I will say, like, I like being my kids. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll bring them here. I'm gonna bring Bailey here. She said she want to come, but then she's like, how long you gonna be? I said, probably 3 hours. I ain't coming. But I bring him here most time. Most times they're in that room if I'm recording. But I will say, like, one thing I like, and I always brag about, like when I go to pick Bailey up, because Brooke didn't go to school. She went to Georgia Top Academy. When I go pick Bailey up, like, the guy don't have to ask my name or my kid. He just, Bailey.
You're right.
And to me, that's dope, because you're not gonna get that a lot of times. Well, who are you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but when I go up there, they already know who I am. I like that.
What you say your name is?
Yeah, for real. Or the dad go pick the kid up. Oh, what's teacher name?
Right.
Hold on, let me call him mom real quick.
Right. That part.
Yeah, fair.
You don't know your daughter, you don't know your kid's teacher name? What the fuck?
Something fishy about this.
I know, right?
You supposed to be picking up.
Something fishy about this?
Right. Like it should not be looked at as
You ain't finna have our school on the news, nigga. What's wrong with you?
Hey, you gotta chill, man. He said something fishy about this. Hey, man, this is dope, man. Look, Morning Masters podcast be out, man. Shout out to Q for coming through, you know what I'm saying? Hey, tell them how they can find you at. Tell them what you do.
Yeah.
You ain't got to say the name of your business. I know you got a new name coming out.
Right.
Reveal that on your own time, but tell them what you do and tell them where they can find you at.
All right, just follow me on Facebook at Shaquanta Callis. It's ShaQuntacales on Facebook. And that's it.
Yes, sir. Oh, I Love You, Jace. That's on Instagram and most of social media platforms and all the music platforms. I Love You, Jace is I Love You, Jase. You will be putting C, but Jase. Thank you.
His name Juanito, by the way, so you can find him there on IG at Juanito. I turned his mic off on purpose. All right, Morning Masters podcast, we out.